The
Is this a
B
we
in
or man?
B-Man
We
stands
are
for
now
Bussy.
live. So, continuing on from last time, the party continued to delve deeper into this strange arcane factory of sorts with Dr. Percy. Along the way, we encountered some more strange squid boys and machinery and other phenomena. However, deeping further into the more cavernous area, we encountered what appeared to be hellfire engines, jury-rigged to become generators, seemingly powered by a small warp gate within that presumably connected to the hells themselves to leak in and gather this energy. However, the group, following the somewhat guidance of the lantern, would fiddle with these hellfire engines, gathering more and more lanterns before, unfortunately, it seems what these engines were perhaps doing was keeping the time-space continuum of this cavern stable, as shutting them all down eventually created a, well, tear in reality, where it was nothing but madness and chaos. However, thinking quickly, Diza the Harpy, alongside with aid of the group, did manage to push everyone together in this weightless expanse before everyone tied themselves together into a big people meatball to be pulled by Diza before eventually, delving deeper, gravity returned. Our exploration and following of the Council of Lanterns led us to a suspicious chamber where we discovered there was a gate to the Hells. That was our best possible lead in locating Genesis. And so we gathered the ingredients. However, we were missing one, and so we took one from one of our own, who thankfully offered it. Lord Cobweb, of course, who is now a Cyclops.
James Tweet.
Then we absolutely obliterated a bone devil who couldn't do shit upon getting out of his little fun box, and we stole his blood. Therein, we opened a portal to hell, jumped in, and started following what appeared to be a man-made path through the hells themselves, eventually leading into a dark, screamy tunnel, all the while being spoken to in strange intervals and seemingly aided by a curious voice.
Yeah. That effectively brings us to where we are now. That voice had popped up a couple of times to a few different people, offering a helping hand more than once, of course. Looking off into the distance, you've reached something of a clearing. And looking forward, the path straightens out, and far ahead you can see the hellish glow and silhouette of what appears to be a out-of-place village in the middle of the hellscapes. Burning, of course, as there is fire leaping from the rooftops, and it is fully ablaze. The soul lantern that you had been following as your guide through the hells is making a quick pace to follow this road and approach said village. And that leaves everyone to proceed as they see fit.
My lord, let's see here. I mean, there's not much I can do.
you do still have that wine glass that was puffed into your hand. Although you have tossed its contents, there still is the whiff that is coming from the inside of the glass. And whatever that was very high quality. It was something that you would only even catch a whiff of in the fanciest of interiors in the inner kingdom of Highshire, and even that might be a stretch.
I do have a question. Has it been more than an hour since I cast invisibility on me and Dr. Percy?
It's been about 45 or so minutes, so if you haven't broken concentration, that is still active.
Alright. I suppose at this point, milking what's left of this spell, can I go ahead and take flight and scout ahead from a bird's eye view to see this burning village in more detail?
Sure. Roll perception.
Okay.
Oof.
You take flight, and you get even just a good 20 to 30 feet above the ground, and you find that the ash clouds in the air are quite thick and is obfuscating view. It's a bit taxing on your lungs as well. You can feel a bit of a burn as you take your breath with each flap. And you do keep in mind that not too long ago, just a few moments before the interesting wine glass appeared, that there were some very large creatures that were just out of perception in these clouds that went overhead and were heading towards the direction of the village. You could try to stay up in this cloud, but there's a bad feeling you get that this might be dangerous and perhaps fruitless.
Yeah, I'll ditch this idea and return flying low.
Okay. You can keep a good 20-foot hover above everyone else, which gives you some of an advantage. Of course, you're not going to step on any fire pits this way, but as far as scouting, it's a bit limiting given the circumstances. And while that's going on... Oh, go ahead.
Should we scout along the perimeter? Or, like, are there any easy routes of entrance from where we're sitting? Because we have to get through, right?
Yeah, so this man-made path is proceeding forward, and it's a straight shot that goes straight to what appears to be the center of this town. It's not very big. It's like a small village, just as if someone had scooped it up from somewhere else and plopped it here. It's at the base of a few craggy mountains that have a hellish glow from atop. You imagine they're also spewing lava and fire. Although, I mean, there's a semi-open perimeter that you could approach from a number of different angles, or at least get a good sniff around to try and find more out about this place, should you wish to do so.
We've been traveling for a while. Is Pass Without Trace still active?
I believe that lasts an hour, if I'm not mistaken.
It does.
And that was cast at around the same time as the invisibility. So
Yes.
that has a good 15 minutes remaining on it. So if you were going to be stealthy, you do have the plus 10.
Okay.
Do the buildings look like they came from, what was it, that ring town that we were in? Just in?
From
can't remember the name of
the
it.
from the Isle of Contempt.
Yes, yeah.
From this distance, the basic shapes would support this, but getting details is really what's going to make the difference here, and it's hard from this far out. They're also in a complete blaze, so getting details may be difficult regardless, but it's definitely plausible.
Can I try and get a good look at this with my spyglass?
You can roll perception with advantage.
All right. Or 13.
Now, you can see the flames that are leaping from these buildings, and they are in an absolute roar. And you've had your eye on this inferno for a good 5-10 minutes, and as you use your your magnifying glass, your scope rather, to look closer in, it doesn't look like it's actively deteriorating. You look at the flames and how they are just spewing out of doorways and windows, out of holes in the thatch roofs, but it doesn't look like they're actively collapsing. It's as if, even though they're in a complete inferno that would raise anything to ashes in minutes, these buildings just continue to stand exactly as they are, which is very unusual.
Any signs of life or movement?
With a roll like that, currently the flames are the overwhelming source of movement, and with the smoke that they're spewing and the ash clouds above, it's hard to see for sure if there's anything you can clearly spot. You do see movement among the flames, but it's hard to be sure if those are things within the fire, or perhaps your eyes are playing tricks on you.
Kind of looks down from the spyglass and says, "It's strange. The whole village is on fire, but it's not deteriorating like a burning building would."
You'd hear Percy speak up. The hells are strange places. I imagine that there's perhaps some strong magic at play, some infernal something or other.
Well, it seems like there's something in the flames. It's hard to tell from here, though.
Now, why would a place obsessed with war want something like this here?
I don't know. I mean, but the path only seems to go through this village, so it's the only chance we have at this point.
Right. Dagny, could you keep an eye on the air? With that spyglass of yours?
I mean, I can look every once in a while, but I do have to walk.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm just saying, I don't want to get swooped down on by those, shapes.
I wouldn't want to either. So, everyone keep your guard up and let's press on.
Right. Well, we've made it this far. Let's not screw up now.
Yes.
It's convenient we have this path. If we ever have to hightail it back, we at least have a direction. A rare
Yes.
luxury, I'd imagine, in a hellscape like this.
Yes.
All right. And I imagine everyone is continuing pace with the soul lantern and marching towards that burning village.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Web's just sort of gonna keep towards the back of the group and keep glancing back every now and again, just in case they're being followed.
I see. Keep
I
your
would
wits
say-
about you.
I would say we should probably take advantage of Pass Without Trace still being there and try to stealth it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. I imagine you're going to try to skirt around a little bit. Now, keep in mind, the soul lantern is just keeping a straightforward path. You could scuttle ahead and get in front of it a bit and give a bit of a side sweep around the perimeter if you want to do that, keeping a low profile and dashing between jagged rocks before entering, should you wish to take that route.
I mean, as long as we could still see the lantern.
Yeah, it's a white light amongst a fiery, glowing landscape, so it's pretty apparent.
Parathol wouldn't lose it.
Right. That much is clear. All right, if you're set on taking that course, everyone may roll stealth.
Hiya!
Yeah, me and Percy would still be invisible.
All right, Percy's rolling
Hey.
with advantage. So if you even
31.
need it-
That's what disadvantage too. Because of heavy or medium armor. All right, 14.
Okay. All right. Forward, everyone would proceed. You would close the distance, and these buildings become in clear view as you're closing in that final stretch of 100 feet. It's plain to see to everyone now that this village is in a complete state of chaos. And you can hear through the roar of flames that there is the sweet serenade of screaming and panic and objects being shuffled and or destroyed. From what you can hear, there is definitely people that are in anguish within this display. And you would look carefully through the flames leaping out of many of these buildings, and you would see that there is some curious dancing, fiery movement that is going to and fro. And you catch the silhouette of humanoid-shaped figures moving erratically through the flames. They themselves are engulfed in fire and seem to be in active extreme pain. They appear to be the only figures here, from what you can tell. The soul lantern is steadily moving inwards and doesn't seem to be abated by anything taking place here.
Kind of keep an eye on it from the sidelines.
All right.
Yeah, Cobweb's just like, oh shit, what else did I expect? You know?
Shouldn't expect pleasantries when you come to the layers of hell.
I did want to, because I am invisible, and I naturally had the advantage of being a bit quicker than others. I wanted to see if I could poke around in some of the houses while keeping pace with the lantern and see if there's anything of interest.
All right. You're going to be dashing through some of these buildings while everyone else is maintaining a steady pace with a lantern, and I imagine you're eventually going to be proceeding forward before losing track of it?
Yeah.
Okay. Inwards, you all would proceed.
Right.
This place is utter chaos, and you can see in full view that the flames leaping off of these buildings are in full effect. The heat is almost staggering, and Disa, you still having your invisibility up for a sum of time still, a good 10 or so minutes, you would take to the air and you can survey some of these nearby buildings to see that they don't appear to be worth saving, in short. There's clear destruction. Many pieces of the roof, walls, and other accessories to these structures appear to be damaged, almost as if it wasn't just set on fire, but was raided. And to everyone that is following the lantern, you would notice that there is a particular movement among the flames just up ahead, and you would take notice that there is one of those burning people that is in extreme amounts of anguish, trying to put themselves out, so it seems, fruitlessly grasping at their burning flesh, contributing to the cacophony of screams. It doesn't appear to have noticed anyone.
Oh my god, can I cast Control Flames to try to put the fire out?
Alright, go ahead and ping it if you wish to do so.
Yeah. Here, I got you. The poor bastard.
Let's see what we have here.
I mean, at least he's not cold. Believe it or not, that's a worse way to die.
Okay, so let's see. This is instantaneous. You would cast Control Flames. You see this humanoid is stumbling in anguish further south before you see a puff of those flames as your cantrip takes hold, and the flames leaping off of his skin would subside as they are suppressed, and you can see there is a very loud sound file. There we go. It's a little bit better. Beneath the flames is this completely charred and glowing skin, as though his skin itself is the hot embers at the bottom of a campfire. And seeing as you are suppressing the flames, it would drop to its knees and begins to hug itself and is shaking uncontrollably, patting on its skin, desperately trying to further cool itself down. But you can see that ultimately this is something of a fruitless vesture, as your cantrip is only gonna keep these flames down for a few moments. You can see little puffs of fire that are trying to ignite back up, contesting with your magic.
Right, okay. Well, while he's doused, can I establish telepathic speech?
What ability are you using for that?
Let me show you. Yeah.
Let's see. You would establish a connection to this burning man, only to find that the only thing coming from the mind of this individual is screams and broken fragments of sentences. They are not inherently clear. It's as if they're in an extreme state of pain and can't think clearly. But there is a strong sense of anguish, despair, and regrets that is coming off of his mind.
Oh,
And
shit.
establishing the link, he would raise his head and does seemingly spot you. You can see that those flames are beginning to burst back in little bits, and he would rush towards you, and these burning hands would reach out in an attempt to grab hold of you desperately.
Shit.
Let's see.
Question. While he was doing that, I did want to peer down into this well. Is there actually any water?
Just 1 second.
Gotcha.
A 22 will hit you, Cobweb.
God damn.
And you can see as though you have given this poor soul the only slightest whiff of hope to escape its desperate situation. It would almost bear hug you as these burning hands would take hold on your skin as you take 3 fire damage. And you see it's mouthing something as if attempting to communicate, but it is unable. As for Diza, you're hovering over this curious well. To think that there's actually water in a place like this would be almost out of place. You look down and you do see that there is the reflection of water, but your eyes are instantly squinted because there is a torrent of steam rising out of this well, and you can see that the water is in a dangerous boil. As for everyone else, you look to the south among the burning building and see that he is not alone, and there are others suffering as well.
Oh, shit.
Is that guy still like bear hugging Cobweb?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I was about to say, Cobweb's kindness is about to run out, I think.
Oh yeah, I was gonna like try to step in between and wrench and like throw the burning man away.
Okay. Are you just like doing like forced movement to like just shove him out?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. It's considered a grapple, I guess.
So that's just a roll to that's just strength check, I think, right? Athletics
Yeah.
something.
Athletics, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Where there?
All right. Let's see how it does. It actually rolled pretty good.
Huh.
I'm
shit.
surprised.
His hands have become one with his skin.
Yeah, check that out.
Wow.
Ah.
Oh god, the hands are like welded to my scalp now. God damn it.
This burning soul has a death grip on poor Cobweb, and you find that it is not willing to relinquish itself from the only possible escape from its torment that it has ever felt. And unfortunately for you, Cobweb, actually, I'll give you a chance to react here before we continue with what it's doing.
Yeah, alright. I would like to fucking 1-inch punch it in the chest.
All right,
Let's
go
see
ahead and
here.
make your attack roll.
I also did do something, but I'll wait for him to finish up.
Yeah, we can do you. Yeah, next.
Let's see here. Hiya! Hey!
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. You would land that fist square in this thing's chest as it pathetically would fall onto the ground and would topple. It has this fist-sized dent in its chest now and is writhing around on the ground, fruitlessly waving its arms, trying to reach out at nothing. It isn't turning towards you. You seem to have disoriented it as it is once again lost in its own pain. And,
Yeah, we should
Deesa,
probably...
You want to act?
I don't think there's much we can do.
Unless the lantern goes in a specific building, I think we should just keep moving through the village.
The
Yes.
lantern moves forward and rests here, coming to something of a halt for a moment. And Cobweb, you hear a voice over your shoulder, and everyone who's within the good 20-30 feet can actually hear this voice as well. That was wonderful. Do it again. We'll see what it does next.
Good idea, disembodied voice, says he fucking... He goes to curb stop.
Cobwebs, stop.
I'm sorry. Lawful evil. Alright, anyway. He
not-
sort of swats at his shoulder. Alright, you're getting me in trouble.
It's not good to listen to every single voice you hear, only some of them.
It's amazing that you can convince others to do things while you watch from the sidelines for your own entertainment.
The voice is above Cobweb and Destined, and speaks a little bit louder, seemingly addressing everyone this time. Open your ears! Drink it in! This sweet sound is orchestrated by the natural forces of destruction. The lost dreams, the anguish, the wailing woes of powerlessness. No bard, however bright, could ever capture this. This is art.
Art. It's a very sadistic view of it.
Art comes in many forms, my dear, and this is one of my many masterpieces. Just take a look around you. Who could replicate the anguish, the pain, the loss so well?
Do I recognize this voice?
Not familiar to you, no.
Then I will speak up and say, my name is Azroth, Champion of the Lake of Flame. If you recognize this title, please answer my question. Who are you?
Now there's a title. This group just gets more and more fascinating every time I interact with them. Oh, where are my manners? Oh, Your Excellence, let me make myself a little more visible, shall we? You can see that there's been that little strange puff of fire every time it speaks. Up until this point, it had been on your shoulders, and most recently, it was a bit of a flicker above. But it would move just in front of the group and would land next to the anguished, burning soul, as there is a larger puff of fire this time around. And a figure would manifest before you. Oh, little old me. I'm the devil on your shoulder. Whispering sweet little nothings to keep you sharp down here is what I do best. After all, I am quite indebted to you. I owe all of you a great deal.
Why do you say that?
My dear, you've done so much for me. First, you opened that creaky old hellgate to allow me to pass into the overworld again. Then you bring me the pieces I've been pining over to complete my collection, and you march it here to my doorstep. Your showering of gifts has left quite the impression. Were we not bathed in firelight, I just might have a visible shade of pink on my cheeks.
Were you working with Genesis?
Oh, that's a name. That's a name. Genesis, Genesis, Genesis. One with quite the weight, that one. Oh, I know all about Genesis, and his tactics to weaponize Avernus to aid in his silly little squabble back up in the Materium. But where are my manners? Before we get off into that, let me properly say, my name is Zozros. Don't forget it, or I will remind you.
Do you serve Zariel? I just looked that up. Who was it? Do you serve the Lord first?
The Lord. Oh, you want to talk about politics now? Please don't bore me with that. I have to deal with it enough as it is. Well, don't get lost in the details.
We need to find Genesis.
One step at a time, Goldilocks. You've only just arrived here. I mean, we have so many things that we can do with one another. For example, and you see that he would rear up his boot and would kick this burning soul as it goes flying here and would land harshly against the ground and gets hit so hard that you see the body actually break apart and would disseminate into the ash on the ground. I made this poor man disappear. What did you think?
Didn't make him disappear. You kicked him and he turned into ash.
Best you disintegrated him.
Tomato, tomato. It's all the same.
So
You see
I'm
that?
guessing that the only reason we're still alive is we are entertaining to you.
You are much more to me than just entertaining. You all are fascinating. Quite the ragtag group you all are. I don't even know where to begin. And you've done so much for me. I'm flattered. I'm humbled. I haven't felt so humbled since, well, I don't even quite know. Maybe this is a first. Oh, you people are so silly, you know? And what do we have here? Our guest of honor, no doubt. Oh, look at this. Huh. Oh, how I have waited.
You know what this is.
What? Do you not?
We have some sense of what it is and what it can do.
I suppose this is the part where you're expecting me to give in to the irresistible temptation to spill the beans, as they say.
Yep.
He's not going to, though.
Oh,
That would be too easy.
my tongue is brimming with all the juicy details. I promise you I have them. But there's a teeny issue with me running my mouth, as much as I enjoy doing so. Quid pro quo.
You want
Knowledge
something in
is
return.
Well, of course. That's what you want. You want stuff. I want stuff. We all want stuff. But the question would remain, what would be in it for me to divulge such a tale to the likes of all of you? I would love to know your offer.
Alright, huddle up.
you see, Percy and Madeira are bringing up their rear, eyeing this devil down, waiting for a consensus to be reached with everyone else.
So, we're totally broke, and even if we weren't, I don't think this guy's going to accept money.
No, he wants something more substantial.
I don't want to give up my soul and my eye. Alright.
You've given up enough, Cobweb.
Okay, pretty boy. What exactly do you want?
What do I want? You know, there's a couple avenues that we could explore. A few things for me, a few things for you. But I don't think we have to be so hasty. I mean, we've only just met each other, right?
Yes.
Look, I don't mean to fail to break the metaphorical ice here. We are in a rather infernal plane after all, so I imagined it would be easier than this, but perhaps maybe you're confused or cautious or scared. Maybe you want to not risk becoming one of these poor burning souls and adding to their sweet serenade as they cry out in pain as much as I would like them to for all time.
Well, seeing as you are the creator of such chaos, you would know how to mitigate it.
I can do whatever I want. I create art in my design, and I suppose that makes you all the critics.
And if you find us so interesting, I think you would be able to keep your art from destroying those you find interesting.
On the contrary, if I can add interesting pieces to my art, that would only further its value, and deepen the appreciation that the beholder, so to speak, of said art would find in it. Of course, it's subjective, and I see that you have maybe a little bit of acquiring to do to this sort of work. We can work on that.
Well, if you have a place where we can talk in better comfort away from all the cacophony of screaming, it'd be greatly appreciated.
You don't want to do business here and enjoy the sights of these souls going about reliving their last anguished moments for all time?
Unless
Come
you're using
now.
it as an intimidation tactic, no.
Intimidation? This is just simply an orchestration of my techniques. Nothing more.
I mean, I'm fine here, but majority vote, I guess.
Yeah, I got a serious case of swamp ass, so it's fucking hot.
Right. Alright. Fine. Oh, how the infernal heat is unkind to those who are not accustomed to it. I suppose we could take matters to my reprieval garden. Maybe I could serve up a meal to get everyone's bellies full and ease the grumpy attitude that so many of you seem to carry, and then once we all get to know each other over some friendly terminologies, we could maybe talk business. What do you say?
You got any painkillers?
Oh, I think you'll find that I can whip up quite the remedy to your earthly troubles.
Sick.
That's good, because I feel like we should go there either way anyways. If anyone's strange glances at my work is any indication. Let's change the scene a bit, shall we? He would suddenly and very quickly take flight, and fire brims in both his hands, and he would clap it together, and there is a puff of fire that would wash over all of you. And you're somewhere else.
That guy's got a funny name up there.
Please, make yourselves at home. There's plenty that will be served shortly.
Humbo holds up his mug. Boozbender, do your thing. Please.
It's important to have manners.
You see Percy is slinging into his shoulders a little bit, thinking that you're all in deep now, but he refuses to speak as to not say anything out of turn.
So,
I'll just say in a low voice to Percy, "It'll be all right."
I certainly hope so. I really hope you know what you're doing.
This will be a first time for everything.
so, level with me here. Pit fiend to whatever high demon you seem to be. I've been away from home for a while. What's happening around here?
A great deal. As you know, the trade that is also important to everyone here in Avernus has been a bit stifled lately. The past 120, 30 some odd years. You see, people making deals has become quite a rarity. It hasn't gone down to zero per se, but the income trail of people who wish to negotiate with us is, well, it's left us starved. And with less materials to work with, the economy of such has suffered quite a bit. That means everything here is more challenging to move forward with. You're lucky that you haven't been here during this time because, I'm sure you're, do you have ears? Oh, you poor thing. Whatever happened to you? Either way, I'm sure that Zariel's ranting would have driven you mad over the subject. The truth is, the world being devoid of so many people is troubling. It's not good for them any more than it's good for us. Perhaps we should have taken the affairs of these creatures they are fighting a bit more seriously.
So you do remember trying to work with them against against the angels and such.
Well, if you want to infer that, then sure. Oh, who am I kidding? I can't resist. Yes, to a point. I mean, why do you think that they had created the Hellgate to come here in the first place? Oh, they were desperate.
Now, there seemed to be a betrayal on someone's part.
Betrayal's a funny thing. Really, when one's interests change, there's a flip-flop on what some avenues would be taken versus others. Oh, what even is betrayal, really?
If that's not the case, then why would there be death tyrants throughout the Isle of Contempt?
Well, they're not from Avernus, I can tell you that much. Those vile things, among who knows how many other creatures, were on a rampage, smiting everyone that resembled a vague humanoid shape from this world. Or that world. Really, all worlds, really. It didn't seem to discriminate. But the truth is, I had nothing to do with it.
I'd say one particular person was responsible for it, just that it happened.
Do tell me. Now, last I checked, there was a whole lot of barren wasteland back out there. A few rummages of at one point might have been a nice building. It had been knocked down by mighty creatures. And then here came all of you. We have 7 souls here, and a great deal more inside of that lantern. What's your story? Give me the juicy details.
Sort of... I think I'll just kind of, for the sake of brevity, sort of start at the beginning with myself being a part of the Cartographer Corps, Cartographer Guild, and being a part of the Cartographer Corps.
So, you begin to explain yourself, and you maybe get a sentence or two in, and Zozros puts up a hand for you to stop. No. You've had the floor already. I want to hear it from someone else. Eeny, meeny, miny. You there with the ears. And he's pointing at you, Erithal. You look interesting. Why don't you give an explanation? What's your story? What's your deal? Please tell me everything that makes you tick. Don't tell loud on me. I'll know.
Never really had a lot of people ask for an in-depth story about me.
Well, what are good devils for?
I suppose, since we're giving information in exchange for information,
That's right.
Tell 'em.
If you can entertain me with your tales of valor and sacrifice or what other shit you all have surely gone through, maybe I'll take the entertainment value as an effective exchange for maybe something that you want to know. What do
How
you say?
facetious of you.
Oh, shush, shush. It's not your turn to speak, dear. You'll have it.
yeah. Yeah, Daddy, I have the
Yeah,
talking stick.
she's literally turned away from him and is literally holding her tongue.
It could be worse. At least he's only asking for a little story.
Well, come from Highshire. Joined up with the cartographer patrols shortly before the fall.
Ooh, the fall. How ominous. Do continue.
After the fall, I don't remember too much before meeting them. A deal I made with another. If I knew the tea, I would definitely spill it to you, though. That is the right terminology, right? Tea, drama.
Tea spilling, of course. I would know.
But I met these fellows, minus the harpy, suspended in animation. They were also at the fall, but rescued by a benefactor.
A benefactor. Ooh, now that's a word.
Why is my brain drawing a blank, like, out of character? What's his... fucking...
Idravok?
Idravok. I have fucking brain damage.
If you ever want reference,
Same.
in the... Let's see, the journal tab, there's character visualizations for most, if not all.
Okay. Thank you.
You have that per your reference. Like, I update that quite frequently.
And since we're kind of speaking out of it, Nay should be on soon.
Yay!
She has
Cool.
let me know that.
Cool.
Okay.
An event occurred shortly after I woke in their presence while they were within their stasis. After interacting with who I know as Destined, as I will gesture over to Destined, but apparently he has another title that I wasn't aware of.
Which we'll talk about later.
Ooh. Tension. How it does juice in the story quite a bit.
Well, then the story just keeps getting interesting.
Does it now? That's music to my ears.
Oh, I'm sure you'll love the stories of keystones blowing holes through mountains.
Through mountains. Ah, keystones. You wouldn't happen to be referring to the curious little object residing inside of your metallic facade of a friend, would you?
He would.
I will give him a nod.
Those are such curious and terrifying creations.
This was but one of many that at least I've encountered.
Interesting. To see them still being tossed around in present day, I can't say I'm entirely surprised.
They're not so easily encountered, unfortunately.
That only adds value, and you happen to have one in your possession. Just look at that. Right in the chest. It does beg a few questions to elaborate on your point. I'm sorry, I didn't even catch your name.
I assume they're motioning towards me.
Yes, they are.
Arathal.
Arathal, ooh. How pretentious. You can see, going off of your passive perception, Arathal, it's incredibly high. You notice a few things about him. His eyes have been darting all around you. It's not just eye contact, as though he is studying multiple parts of you and hearing your story in tandem. It seems like he's trying to gauge some form of greater picture. And because he's so what, 20? Yeah, 20 passive perception. You do notice something he is being very subtle about. His eyes occasionally keep darting over this way towards the lantern. He definitely has retained interest on the object throughout this. But ultimately, you can see that it's fixated on you, and he's seemingly trying to gauge you.
Just like out of character, Erthal will tell his story. Just like so it's known, he will give the smaller details, but like in character,
Right.
I will speak more broadly.
Yeah, that's fair.
We
That's fair.
did, after the mountain, head back to our kingdom. Bright light, brighter than some of the fires down in Avernus. Attacked by avatars, the ones that came after the Omen.
They call themselves the Auroran Dawn.
We
Auroran
fought
Dawn.
with them, but we found none of our kingdom personnel, if you will, was still within the lower bits. Radiant light blocked off the main area we would have gone, but we did have other things to attend to. Finding lost people, motioning towards Dagny. But after that, we went underground, found our kingdom's people, went even further down, encountering some real vampiric shit, if you'll pardon my language.
Juicy.
After that, information we gained, and allies. Oh, hi Nick.
Bestie!
Hi, I'm sorry.
Cringe.
You're fine, honey.
After that, we went to a cliffside where we found Startographer. What are they? They're not ruins. They're sites.
It's like a fob, basically. Is what
Yeah,
I'm
I'll just call them Startographer sites, revealing truths and schematics for your hell engines, if you will.
Hellfire engines! Ooh, now those have quite the potent applications to them. I'm not surprised that there would be something like that in a place like that. It's all starting to click now. They were so tight-chest on the negotiations. But that makes a ton of sense. I almost feel stupid for not seeing it earlier.
Following an ally is information they gave us after a encounter with a cave full of dragons. Ugh. Still get shivers. Narrowly avoiding our deaths in that cave.
Oh,
We
you're not
heard-
exaggerating your story on me now, are you?
Oh,
It's not an
50 of them, and they were like this big.
I wish I was exaggerating.
Well, if they're that big, then surely I have to believe you. How daunting!
Yeah, it's... After that, we got a good idea of where to go, as well as information from when we were dealing with the vampire issue towards Genesis, which led us to the Isle of Contempt, which led us down into cavernous depths, which, well, as you can see, as Erethal's going to kind of like basically show their attention on the lanterns, we found something of what I assume is extreme interest to you. Several of them, combining into that chandelier of lanterns, if you will.
I see. You're sharper than the rest. And I'm not just talking about your ears.
I've always been told I had big ears. All the more better for hearing when people or things try to attack you from behind.
You see, I receive similar compliments, but it's either on my horns or my ego. Some people have the nerve to just mouth off. Really now. There's no civility anymore.
In such gracious confidence, too. And this gracious... sorry, brain's trying to come up with, like, the right word. Conference, yes. With a company like you, how could they?
You realize it's a manipulation tactic, right, Arathal?
And he's doing a very good job of it, too.
Hmm.
Ooh,
He's kind of
you...
pinching his nose bridge. But after that, the lanterns led us to a ritual which led us into Avernus. After that, I'm sure you can pick up the story from your perspective.
So let me get all of the little breadcrumbs lined up nice and neat. So you have been bouncing around in your world, facing who knows how many perilous, treacherous encounters besides even what you've disclosed to me. And you teetered your way into a big crater, opened a portal to hell, and walked through because you're looking for Genesis?
Yes.
Yeah. Lead's a lead. Lantern seemed like the best lead there was.
That's rich. Oh, you have no idea. Oh, you poor things. Oh, you have no idea. That's wonderful. Oh, I am thoroughly entertained, Arathal. You are wonderful. And that scent. Something tells me, I get a good feeling about you when I look at you. And I don't just say that to anybody, that you're not afraid to shy away from making a deal. Just a broad yes or no. Is that correct?
Yeah, just looking at Arathal wide-eyed.
Not all deals are bad. I've given out quite a few, but that time has gone and passed.
I see we're all learning things about one another today. Oh, how this table of guests is such a treasure. Well, Arathal, how do you reply? Are you a deal maker?
It would be foolish to say you're a deal maker without seeing the terms and conditions of a deal first. Would you not say so yourself?
Not serious, Arathal.
There's always the devil in the details, as they say. I'm not here segueing to a deal on you. No, this isn't just a cheesy sales pitch. I just want to know more about you and what makes you tick, like I said.
Though I doubt that making deals right now, aside from our current one for information, would be wise or something to focus on. I'm sure you probably want to hear perspectives from others as well.
More or less, but one thing at a time. If we all go around telling the same story, well, that would just be boring, wouldn't it? And besides, I promised a full-course meal, and who am I to rob you of that? Look at yourselves. You're battered and beaten and hungry and grumpy. I'm impressed you were able to give as much details as you can with a rumbly-tumbly like that. So, I propose that we feast like kings before going any further. What say you?
Yes.
Well, there you have it. A yes. That's all I need. Let's gather some services, shall we? There's a puff of flame to the north, and some servants would appear. They appear to be the burning souls that were encountered in the village, except they have some flaming clothing that somewhat resembles something of a set of butlers. And you can see that they are stood at attention as though disciplined to do so. However, they are burning in flames all the same, just like before. And looking more carefully at them, there's twitching in their muscles, and their charred fingers are balled into fists as if they are still under excruciating amounts of pain, but are only stood as still as they can manage because they perhaps fear what might happen should they not play their part.
This spice
You would see-
Spiceland.
They go around and they carefully reach over everyone else and they begin to set the table. They give you all an avenue to slink back so you're not met with their burning form. This one here would come over to this corner and would begin doing its part before Zozros abruptly would shoot off into the air and would land next to this one and has a look of disgust on his face and grabs this poor soul by the collar. You there, look at you. Stop. No, you three, keep going. You, look at you. Formless and ablaze and blah. You're no different from any of the other ones, aren't you? I talk as if you could reply. No. Come on, if you're going to be serving my treated guests, then you should at least be original in your appearance. Let's give you something a bit more pleasing to the eye, shall we? There's a sudden burst of flame, and the servant's appearance would change and become something much more pleasing to the eye. What was once a burning soul was now this middle-aged woman with this empty look in her eyes. Well, that's better. Look at that. Now you take care of my guests here, understands? And you can see that there's a shallow nod before he would fly back and would expertly land right in his chair without it ever having been pulled out. I do apologize. After all, we do want a bit of originality here, and just a bunch of flaming corpses is just... Well, I enjoy it as much as the next fiend, but I like having things that are somewhat diverse. Surely you can understand that. What, would you prefer the burning one?
I think Dagny is just staring at the woman.
She is going about her work and is laying out some silverware and some plates and just has this emptiness as though droning on, fulfilling the task. And Percy is also right next to her, is looking on, and he has this deeply confused, lost expression on his face. He seems very perplexed. And while that is happening, Zozros continues. Now, who's the little guy at the far end in the green? The mean and green little anger pea? What might I call you?
You may know me as Lord Cobweb. I get the feeling you're going to be hearing of me more often.
Oh, setting expectations. You're setting a stage, aren't you?
I'm setting a standard, sir.
A standard, a stage, it's all the same. Well, Lord Cobweb, surely you must be well established on how to influence those who you rule over as a lord.
I get by.
Excellent. Get on the table.
How's that?
Get on the table.
Yeah,
Destin's
don't
a
gotta ask
clapping
me
stance.
twice. As he fucking jumps up.
You would walk your way towards the center of the table, careful not to knock over any of the plates or silverware that was just set, as all eyes are awkwardly on you, and Zozros would extend a cueing hand to you, and he would speak. Well, Lord Cobweb, entertain us.
Huh?
Entertain us. We already heard a story, so I suppose you can just cross that one off the list, but you have the floor.
No, I just got 6 kills. This is
Shit.
You're speechless, Lord Cobweb. You're not like this usually.
No, hold on. Let me think.
I have a suggestion for you.
What's that?
Let's not get interrupted here. We want Cobweb to put on an original display. He did set the stage after all. We wouldn't want to sour things with an idea that is not his.
Well, you kind of put him quite on the spot. He usually does
You
that
will
on
have
his
your
own.
chance to speak. I understand your enthusiasm, but please have some table manners.
Not when you're torturing one of my
I've
people.
seen this type of
In the
action.
boozer, you're a loser. If the dice you're shaking, you'll get hurt, you'll lose your shirt. Sit there cold and quaking. Lady Luck, your gifts are bad. You tricked us when you make us mad. You make us gamble, make us fight, and sit out in the cold all night. Burr, the naked loser, moans when he's cold and left alone. Shakes and shivers as he groans. I wish I could be asleep under a tree with hot sunshine warming my bones. But now let's roll the dice again and win some lucky drinking money. Who thinks about November's rain when it's just still so warm and sunny? Da 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 da. As he does a little jig.
That's impressive.
Roll performance with advantage. Also gain a point of inspiration.
I already got
You
one.
get a-
All right, let's see.
You give it to someone else then.
Yeah, no, fucking.
That's what's up. I'll give it to fucking goat. Why not?
I think I already have one actually.
That's hysterical.
Shit, it's going to Nay then.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to point out this is fucking loving the song. Like literally, their purse like almost sat on the chair, like bobbing up and down to the rhythm you're putting out.
I only had the most barest bones notes for fucking bar songs. God damn it.
That was fantastic. Oh my god.
All right,
Yeah,
let's see
you
here.
don't need much of a singing voice if you're singing bar songs.
Hang on.
Yeah, and that
Hey,
There you go.
not bad.
I think
You lowered the
Ad-
DC all the way down to 5 because that was phenomenal. And you
I
can
think you
see.
get +2.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
sure.
so-
And like it's a massive success either way. You can see Zozros is in an uproar, and as you finish your song, there is an applause that is coming from him alone, and the servants have finished their work, and they give a fiery round of applause as well. Oh, our lord, well deserved. Oh, I can see who the leader of this group truly is. And
Thank you,
don't
thank you,
tell
as he
me
takes
it
it now.
isn't your lord, because it certainly is now. As far as I'm concerned, he is calling all of the shots on behalf of everyone.
Oh
Well
shit.
deserved. Oh, I haven't
Yeah.
heard.
Dagny just kind of looking down at her plate, stone-faced.
Destin claps as well.
Couldn't possibly end badly.
You are quite the entertainer, quite the lord, the leader in song and in everything else you do, I'm sure. You deserve a little something from me. Here you are. There is a puff of fire, and something would land in your hand, Cobweb. I
Another
understand that
confetti.
I understand that the eye situation is a little lost on you, given you're at half-mast right now. So here's something to compensate.
Oh,
That's so cool.
oh my lord. Eyes of the Forgotten.
That's so fucking cool. Okay.
So cool.
Ooh.
Ah, yes, another shiny for the collection.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Well, I do thank you, good sir. And as a matter of fact, might I posit a theory that we are not so different, you and I?
I'm inclined to believe that we do have very similar ways of thinking. This is advantageous. Look at how this has already brought so many of us closer together. I think we're making leaps and bounds and songs to go with it to give us cadence. Now please have a seat, you're getting your dirty feet all over my good wood.
Damn straight. As he fucking he walks back to his chair, knocking things over as he goes.
Hate to interrupt, but I do need to take care of a quick chore. Do you mind if we take like a 5-10 minute break here?
I was considering doing it anyways because my throat is trying the fuck out. Let's make it a 10-minute break.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Like 50. Well, we'll call it like 9 o'clock. It's fine.
Alright. Yeah, no god, but that was fucking amazing.
You
Yeah, it was
motherfuckers,
fantastic,
you made me
dude.
improv.
Kick
Were you like waffling trying to Google that, or did you already have that somewhere and were just looking for it?
I was trying to get my notes up because I've been trying to come up with original bar songs so that I'm not just regurgitating things that I've heard before.
Nice.
Okay.
The lyrics are a little rough, but you know.
I mean, like, I think it was like the last 2 or 3 like lines kind of sort of like fell apart on the rhyming part, but it was still good
Yeah.
nonetheless. Now I have to see what the husband is playing in the background.
Because you're a bitch.
Wow, okay.
What is he playing?
I don't know, some like Civil War looking game.
Some like World War One.
Verdun?
No, Isanzo.
Oh,
Yeah, that game he plays it all the
Italian
time
front.
with his gay ass friends.
like playing war games, right?
Meanwhile, we have actual like World War II guns in our closet. That's
Okay.
why play it when you can live it.
He hasn't reached that point in his marriage where he decides to do that yet.
No, but my German
Mhm.
heritage already has.
9.
Have
Oh,
a
yeah,
new
you
gun in
missed-
the closet.
Yeah, you missed our entire discussion that we had before the game started, talking about the tunnel Jews.
Hey, that's a discussion I can get behind.
Should go grab your cat and just drop it on him.
Stop.
I know because look, I have to show you. He's being a precious angel on the donut. Please hold while I share cat content.
Is it that one where it's got like the seat on top, and they can go inside of it?
No, it's my giant reading donut Christina got me. My giant squishy cushion.
Ah, okay.
My reading cushion. You wouldn't know dignity if it hit you in the face.
Wow.
can't-
Ouch.
He can't
Abuse.
hear me.
Oh,
Oh.
but and it's funny. Abuse.
Yeah, you fucker.
Abuse.
I said you wouldn't know dignity if it hit you in the face. What's up, fuckers?
Why do you have my phone?
I love you.
Go downstairs and put the break in for this room.
Your computer would crash too, you asshole. I have a laptop. I'll just use that.
He just turns the Wi-Fi off. It's no issue.
Pew.
I would just use my phone then. Where there's
Foundry
a
on your
piece of
phone.
technology, there's a way.
The Foundry on your phone? Yeah, you would probably be looking at like a 280 by whatever pixel thing that just doesn't move.
Probably, but if it's working at a spike, then it's worth it.
Remember, Hellfire sticks to kids.
Okay.
Oh, there's another Turnip Boy game? Ooh, I might have to get it. Turnip Boy robs a bank. Awesome.
Turnip Boy commits arson.
Okay.
Well, I think the first one is like Turnip Boy
Why the fuck is your profile
like
photo
commits
Nick to
tax evasion or something like that.
You know what?
Wait,
Me
I don't think
too.
Devin heard you.
Honestly, that's a mood.
Yeah, it is Turnip Boy commits tax evasion.
He wants to know why your profile picture is who?
Nick Tadone.
Nick Tadone.
Yeah, it's Nicky Tadone. Oh, because I was playing with all the other guys, and they're like, "Hey, you should change your picture to somebody else from school who has weird profile pictures." So I found Nicky Tadone, considering.
He was playing with the other losers, and they thought it would be hysterical because that's what they do in their free time instead of having lives.
Wow.
I annotated.
Burn.
Hey,
Me and the others do not get along. Let's just say that.
this kid has perpetual baby face. He's had to have the
He
same
does.
face
He's like
for
the
like the
same
past
for
20
decades.
years.
Aw.
Like
yes.
legitimately.
He's like
And-
Keanu Reeves. Like you look at every photo and you're like, has he aged?
Yeah, and you know his haircut hasn't evolved past like a 6-year-old's either. So yeah, Nicky Tadone.
Come on. Oh, the haircut's got. Like, come on. That's maintained. That's a choice. Like, that's.
Oh, it's 100% a choice, but like why? You had so many others.
hell
Why
if I
make this
know.
one? And dude, I think he has like a tattoo sleeve too, which doesn't help.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, I could have sworn in his latest profile picture or something like that I could see tattoos.
Are you looking at his profile pictures often?
I bet it's one of those washable ones.
I'm looking it up now. I gotta find him now since I brought it up. Nick Tadone.
You're just really good at stalking people on the internet.
Yeah, I know.
Slowly reheat the patient. That makes them sound like a chicken nugget.
What do you talk about? Like a frozen? Like, did you deep freeze a cat or something?
No, I'm doing notes on neonatal puppies, and it's like treatment of hypothermia. Slowly reheat the patient as if they're chicken nuggets in an air fryer.
Okay. Wow.
It's God, you people could never be one of us.
See, you can't reheat them too fast because then they boil from the inside.
Yeah, they do. And then you just have a hemo abdomen.
Oh, then you have what is it? What are they called? Those cushiony chairs that are filled with all the beads. You have one of those, but it's an animal.
I mean, that's
Oh,
literally
God.
what my cat's laying on, so close
You mean a
enough.
beanbag?
Yeah, but yeah,
A blood bag, more accurately.
yeah. There you go.
Oh.
An animal smoothie.
Oh Jesus, pure protein. Let's go.
It's kind of
Ah!
I keep 5 of them in my fridge just in case.
Jesus Christ.
You don't want to know
That's
how many
fucking
are in our
evil,
fridge.
dude.
You're like, y'all
Holy
need
shit.
Jesus. Y'all need Jesus.
Jesus can't help me now.
Oh, dude, I've already got like a chair that has my name engraved on it somewhere in hell.
Yeah,
I know.
Jesus. I feel like by the time Jesus is done with him, Jesus is gonna need Jesus.
Jesus is gonna need therapy.
I'll bring my therapist. It'll be fun. She'll have him pray the gay away in no time.
Oh, God.
The fact that conversion camps still exist is absolutely baffling to me.
Yeah.
I told
it's
my
fucked.
sister her wedding gift was going to be a weekend round trip there.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowans
Hey,
have a pamphlet
hey.
laying around somewhere for that.
Hey, you
Sure
know
they
what,
fucking
too?
do.
You know what, too? They're still around, but they're called something different. But basically, you can call one of these camps, and they will come and kidnap, like, your kid.
Wilderness
Take them back.
survival camps.
I mean, yeah, I think that's probably what they go by,
Yeah.
but it's just not. It's literally
A lot
just
of kids
conversion
actually
camp.
die in that too.
Oh yeah, what it's the There's
Oh,
like
hey,
a big,
I'm bleeding
big,
out of my
big
nose. I'll be right back.
Hmm.
Well, that's a thing. Okay.
Brain hemorrhage.
God has decided to smite
bro's
me.
The time
Bro's
has
hitting the
come.
booger sugar.
Sugar booger.
Mhm.
This is great though. Watching everyone be super uncomfortable.
And
Yeah, but you'd be an ass.
Well, this is a weird Google search to be going under, but whatever.
are you still searching Nick to donor conversion?
No. I'm looking up the
Wow.
there was like a big, massive, like conversion camp where like the kids were basically kidnapped from their parents by people the parents asked them to,
That's unfortunate.
and it resulted in in a bunch of deaths. I'm trying to find it.
Hmm.
It was in like the
When you say
70s or something like that.
conversion camp, do you mean like shock the gay way kind of deal?
So they didn't do that, but it was basically like get in a circle, say bad things about the people who are in the circle, and if you like don't do it good enough, you get beaten, all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Let's see, where'd it go? Welcome to learning horrible history.
Dismal. So
Damn.
What am I doing? Oh, that's what I'm doing.
are you loading a gun?
Equipped. Is lactated ringers.
Fuck. Where's my water? There it is. Fuck.
I was curious, Feet Man. Now that we have a second here, have the funny little men in this garden been doing anything?
Oh yeah, no, they have been very adamantly tending to the greenery over here. They all have hedge trimmers and various accessories.
Oh, I just noticed them. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was funny because they're called a cruel joke.
Why is
Wow.
your computer so angry?
Oh, is this fan making those fucking noises again?
It's going. Yeah, I'm sending you a video, Bridget.
Oh no.
It's so loud.
Angie.
I know, but I'm now sending my video to Brandon.
Let's have a little look-see poo here.
It's stunning. I also sent it to Devin. It's so loud.
Dude's on the interior of a Huey.
I'm just turning around to look at you.
I have returned from blood aggressively pouring out of my nose.
Hmm.
It's
I blame Norte.
is it
Yeah.
is it cold and dry where you're at, Kyo?
Yeah.
That's what's fucking you up.
Yeah, kept
Yeah, no, I've ever since I was a little kid, I've had horrible problems with nosebleeds to like point where it was a little kid cerning.
Yeah, no, it's just dry.
Why don't
here.
you get your nose cauterized?
Because I was a child, I could not consent to surgery.
It's not a surgery. All they do is stick silver nitrate up your nostril. I did it in both of mine.
Why didn't you have them remove your nose with a cheese grater?
Listen, I don't want to be
Muda.
fucking Voldemort.
Why
Delicious,
didn't you
delicious
just
nose
stick
cheese.
tampons?
I'm
in
sorry,
your
that
Already
nose,
was
like-
losing my
gross.
hair like the bald fucker.
Oh God.
Why
Come
didn't you
on.
just stick
Come on.
tampons in your nose like late
Boy,
or like
I
late
know.
2000s romance
Dude, I look
comedies?
like the fucking discount fucking
Hey, you want it up
Rick
here.
and
Calm
Morty
down.
character Rick. I look like Dr. Rock.
Oh.
Can you smell what the rock is cooking?
No, but I just shot a woman.
Good.
Good.
Oh.
Women have no rights. That's it.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's it
We all
should
good?
be. Yeah.
All right. Give me a second. The active discussion would conclude its most recent points. And for those who have been looking around, I will reiterate, there's a few of these fiendish-looking jokesters who are seemingly on this never-ending garden duty. They have a manner of different size shears, trimmers, and various different little knickknacks to endlessly service all of the hedges that are around all of you. And you can see they occasionally would look over towards everyone, and you can see they have this devilish grin and they chuckle to themselves as though
That
they
looks
are
familiar.
having a variety of cruel jokes in their head about you all, but ultimately don't abandon their duties, as you imagine if they did, without being instructed to, the consequences would be dire. And
What?
It's a good thing too, otherwise the most savage diss battle in all of history would ensue.
Oh, give me a second. I have to go take care of something really quick. I'm sorry.
well, moving forward, there would be another whoosh of fire, as once again, the servants reappear. This time, they are each holding a series of platters. And they are as in pain as ever, as you can hear the shaking of the platters as they're doing their utmost to resist giving in to the excruciating pain that they are in. And one by one, they would reform their positions and would begin to lay out a incredibly delicious looking meal. If not for this one here, of course, which it looks like his pain reaches a threshold he can't control, and he would trip and fall as the platter would clamber all over the ground. And Zozros would slam two fists into this table and would stand up and would hover over this rather pathetic looking soul. And you can see he is recoiling in pain, the flaming one. And Zozros leans down ever so gingerly and speaks into its ear, and everyone can hear as he begins to utter words that would rattle you a little bit.
You are a disappointment.
And there is an explosion of fire, as you see with lightning speed. Those would produce a fiendish-looking blade that would cut him, vivisect in half, and he would be gone. Nothing but a puff of smoke. I do apologize. They are rather hard to train after all. Some people just can't seem to handle their jobs. How rude of them, right?
So,
Sounds like you got a frog in your throat.
what does it mean? Does that mean?
Oh, it comes with the title. But never mind that. In any case, feast your eyes and your hunger.
Like you.
And you can see the remaining servants are laying out this incredible meal. There's an assortment of fruits, vegetables, breads, cheeses, meat cuts of all variety, some of which you don't recognize, all cooked to perfection. As the platters are set, you can see there is this steaming coming off of the meats, and it looks as if the fruits were freshly picked and they have a bit of moisture that would glint the large sun that is over towards the west. And just looking at all of this, your appetites would surge. For those who eat, of course. And Zozros would gesture as he has some food for himself as well. Now please, further entertainments can wait. First we feast. Dig in, everyone. It's my treat. And he begins munching away.
Pretty much face first into the largest chunk of meat nearby.
Yeah, I was about to say, no hesitation, none.
Oh yeah, there's an entire ham that's right there. It's big enough to, like, you take a huge chunk with your talons, and it was barely just a dent.
Oh, not even
And-
with the talons, like, because we're like, I'm
Oh.
like oddly sat, just face first, bite into it off the table.
Actions from everyone else?
Yes, I'll eat.
Well,
Okay.
I hope you don't mind. My predisposition is preventing me from enjoying this meal. If I ever become free of this keystone, I would love to visit you again for dinner. You're...
Free, you say?
Yes. While it was willing to enter this, as one is willing to do whatever for power. Yeah.
Huh. You see Zozros mulls it over, and he's studying you before he takes a big bite of bread. It has this infernal spice that glistens.
So yeah, if you
Well,
wanna
you know,
get independent.
we might be able to work on that. You see, I look at you, and I recognize that title. It's quite impressive, let me say. A pit fiend. A fiend after my own heart. So there's a keystone in your chest, and there's this metallic, man-shaped thing that's carting it around.
Yeah.
That makes you a prisoner inside of a prison. Inside of a prison! How in the hells did that come to be?
Well, originally I was a gladiator turned warrior, and many of my battles have earned me the right to ascend, per se, and become a Hellfire engine, where I could endlessly fight in whatever war given. And in the last battle I can remember, an angel descended with his horrible counterparts and whatnot that he brought with him. The last thing I remember was battle with him. Then nothing for an untold amount of years. And then I came to just very briefly I heard somebody talking to me saying I had some sort of destiny, or I was destined for something, I don't know. I couldn't really hear. And then silence for however long, and then I have awoken to this group. Well, one of them has died, but, you know, as is what happens with mortals.
How unfortunate. So someone reassembled you after all of that and put you in the predicament you're in now, and you don't even know who it was. That's tragic.
I do have a name. I don't know if he was the one who put me in here, or just turned me on, and then turned me back off, or whatnot. Does the name Ragni ring a bell to you?
Zozros's eyebrows lift, and he pauses in his meal for a moment. And you can see he considers his words on what he wants to say, and eventually would look you dead on and gives something of an assuring nod. Ragni Urval, I'm sure. I should have seen it. What an intelligent mind between his ears. Destroyed creatures en masse, even after all of the nonsense began in the overworld. Naturally, he looked down upon a handsome devil like myself. But much less to even make a deal. But over the course of time, things got desperate for him. And as much as he abhorred making deals with devils, you see, power, even to him, is a language all beings understand. And my flames spoke, and they commanded respect. I know of him quite well. Knowing him,
I don't think I ever realized.
he surely is still kicking somewhere.
Yes.
Well, that's good to know. I only have one question for him, so once I get that, I don't know. Maybe I'll come back. You seem like a great host.
I try. You seem like a great affiliate. There's much we could offer one another. And for everyone who is eating, the meal is absolutely delectable, and it not only just makes you sated in your hunger and enjoying the flavors, but it seemingly would resonate throughout your bodies, as everyone eating gains the benefits of a long rest.
Oh, let's go.
Okay.
Neat.
All the while, these servants are stood sentry, and Percy, who has been quiet all this time, just keeps eyeing this strange woman that Zozros made, and you can just see that there is something going on with him. He has sweat going down his brow. He seems very frustrated or confused. Not really sure what to make of that.
Not exchange.
Wait, you said this was Percy?
Yes.
I'm just gonna lightly touch his hand and say in a low voice so that only he can hear me. Percy, are you alright?
I don't know. I just feel anxious.
Is it this place?
I think so. It's hard to place it.
Does it feel like you remember this place? Like you've been here before?
No, I don't think I have. You can see what happens to most mortals that find their way here. We need to consider our actions very, very carefully, lest we add to the burning bodies.
Is it the woman next to you?
I don't know. Maybe. I think that Zozros might be doing something to mess with me.
You feel like you know this person.
I couldn't say.
Well, it's a facade. He's giving this soul a reprieve. Whatever reprieve it might be. His sense of having variety somewhat convoluted, as seeing as there were 3 of the same.
Never saw the first one.
Zozros is finishing his meal quite quickly, for looking over towards everyone expectantly as the last morsels are being consumed. Percy takes in your words, Dagny, and he nods and tries to just take a deep breath and calm himself down as best as he can.
I would like to point out for the 2 sitting next to the harpy, they eat like an animalistic slob.
To be expected, you don't really have hands.
Yeah.
Erthal whispering to himself.
Just any idea of what manners are.
Next time you visit someone's dreams, learn up some table manners.
Tisa looks at you, burps, goes back to eating.
After a while, Zozros would abruptly speak up once again, as his gaze would very rapidly snap onto Nadira. And he speaks up very suddenly. Your name is Nadira, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
I thought as much. The whispers spoke it quite loudly.
What whispers?
Surely you hear them too?
The book.
Wait.
Shh.
Oh?
You burned that book.
Dagny, do you have something to add?
Huh. So they destroyed the book.
Well, whatever you learned from that book, it nearly killed me. You're risking your life to protect it. Managed to get away from you when we burnt it, so whatever spirit is attached to you is still attached.
The book's kind of a sore subject.
Oh, but I think we can remedy the old soreness right here and now. You see, I am someone who can see with more than just eyes, and I'm surprised that you haven't been acknowledging what I have. They did, after all, speak your name. How else would I know it?
Remedy it in what way?
Well, I see an opportunity for potential. Now, I'm a little bit hard on my recollections of strange figures coming from planes outside of Avernus, but I had the recollection in my head. What is there a terminology for when you hear the rattling of chains and it rattles a memory in your brain? No, just me. Shame.
You speak
Because
of
I can
deja
hear
vu?
those. In a sense, I can hear the rattling of those chains just as that's woven with the whispers coming from Nadira. They speak of its master, a certain Gilthon. Does that name mean anything to you, Nadira?
Where did you know that name?
I'm simply reiterating what I'm hearing right now.
You're saying this spirit attached to her is a servant of Gilthun?
I'm more inclined to believe it's Gilthon themselves.
Would I know who
Quite.
that is?
You have no idea who it is.
You
I don't
wouldn't.
think I know who that is.
You
No.
don't.
Okay, you feel better.
But Zelzros continues. I think that this being, this benefactor, is trying to extend something of a chain infused olive branch, but you just can't seem to hear it. That is tragic. Although, you already have been bestowed gifts, haven't you?
You could say that.
Good, because I want to see what you can do.
Last time I did that, it didn't go so well.
Well, it's a good thing we're in a controlled environment, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Good.
Yeah?
Well, in that case. Groundskeeper, why don't you bounce over here? You're going to be a brave volunteer for an experiment. You hear a jingle as there's this smiling jester-like demon that would bounce his way and would land firmly right here. And stands eagerly at attention. He has this spring in his step and kind of sways back and forth to unheard music. And his eyes are rapidly surveying everything going on here, ready for something to happen. Zozros gestures towards the cruel joke. Nadira, would you be so kind as to demonstrate your applications of this benefactor? I would love to see it in action.
I do this and you give me info about the benefactor.
Of course. I could do more than that, perhaps, but I just want to see what is lurking behind your shoulder. I'm sure everyone agrees on that much.
Okay. I assume the jester has a shadow of some kind.
So, there's a big old sun that is to the far west here that has been blazing this whole time, radiating heat and casting shadows. So yes, there is a rather long shadow being cast right here.
Okay, I guess initially I'm gonna use my shadow crawling funness and merge into his shadow.
Okay. You do so, and everyone watches as Nadira's form turns black, see-through, and would eerily slink into the shadow cast by the jester. You see this black mass imitate the shadow's shape. And you just watch as Nadir did something that is a little equal parts fascinating and a little concerning.
It's cool, but it's fucked up.
Cool.
I know, I'm like, look at my magic shadow power, guys. And then I guess I'll come out of the shadow behind the guy and kind of look at. Oh god, I can't say his name right. Flamboyant demon man.
Yeah, Zozros, sure.
Bless you.
Suppress you.
And as I come back into human form, I'm gonna look at him and then just fuck the guy up. There's a lot of dice.
Who are you casting this on?
The jester.
Okay. Let's see. It needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Whatever.
Damn, that's a lot of, like... Damn.
Jeez.
I
Yeah.
cast Stroke at 3rd level.
I could have done it higher. I didn't.
Everyone would see on the chest of this jester, there's these black tendrils that surge from what you presume to be the location of its heart and would soak through its skin and clothes as this blackish substance would just surge throughout its body. And you see it begin to bounce up and down on one foot then the other, almost flapping its hands wildly, and would laugh maniacally, seemingly unharmed, as this, being a fiend, again is immune to poison. But
yeah.
Zozros, watching this, is wide-eyed and is seemingly thoroughly impressed, and continues. Now that is something we can certainly get the fuck out of here, you joke. Go back doing what you know how to do best. Useless.
No, it's happening.
Now that is something. But there's one thing that is just it's bugging me. It's just this little hold still.
Are you in there?
And
I'm just gonna smirk at him.
He just
Dance,
puts your,
monkey dance.
He just puts his finger in your mouth.
he would
Okay.
extend his gauntlet hand behind your ear and seemingly plucks something that's stuck behind it and extracts what looks to be a crumpled page with this black spidery text that you recognize as a page from the book you have lost.
What?
I instantly grab it and start reading.
You
I
grab
get 0
firmly.
reaction time. Just grab read.
Roll sleight of hand.
Give me my book. Give me my book. My sleight of hand kind of sucks. It's okay. Could be worse, actually.
Okay. You managed to grab it. Much to the impression of Zozros. And you can see that this is once again a page that you have been... It's almost that this is the page that you were about to start reading before, of course, you had lost your tome. And there would be a shudder in your head, something of contentment as you hear something speak to you.
Power. Continue.
Okay.
Well, that is something. It seems as though this book hasn't quite been completely checked out after all.
I'm just kind of subtly gesture to him, like turning my back slightly towards my compatriots, and just kind of give him like the finger over the mouth in like a shush motion.
Very well. Let's not be rude to everyone else. Let's take our seats.
Okay, I pocket the page.
There you
Like,
go.
nice shoved down deep in a pocket where no one can reach it.
All right. And after that, Zozros begins to study everyone once again. This time his gaze ultimately falls onto Dagny.
Oh boy.
Dagny, I have a sneaking suspicion you are one for making the difficult choices in this struggle of yours.
See, I don't need the name.
I make the choices that are necessary.
Really, I thought that was Cobweb's job.
What? Shooting.
Oh, jeez.
It's foolish of you to think so.
Oh, are we insulting our lord?
I
Any good lord knows good counsel when he hears it.
just look at Cobweb.
What?
I see. So, tell me, Dagny, among this group of ragtag allies, if you were in a situation where one of these good, hard-working individuals had to drop dead in light of the greater good for everyone else, who would have to die?
Rifle grenade. Actually,
I think she just kind of looks at everybody at the table one by one, ending on Percy. Then she looks back down at her empty plate.
300-meter headshot challenge.
I feel it would have to be myself.
Really?
Is that right? You would be the one to bite the big one.
If that's what it takes.
I see. I'm having a hard time understanding why.
What makes you think that?
Well, surely laying down one's life is a noble cause, isn't it? Surely not something to be done lightly. Perhaps in a situation such as this, there might be someone else who's more inclined to lay down their own life. Unless we're all agreeing that if someone would have to go, it would be Dagny. I don't seem to see any contesting from anyone.
Well, I was just sort of waiting for her to finish her thought. As a matter of fact, I think it should be me.
Now, it seems as though we have never entertained this line of thought. If the moment of truth comes and you're not all equally concluded, the wrong decision may be made, or even worse yet, no decision may be made.
It seems like you're trying to form a negotiation for which we don't know the details and terms.
I'm not offering anything. I'm simply stating that in a perilous journey that you have undertaken, knowing how to make the difficult choices when they come is naturally something that you should be prepared to do at the drop of a hat. What do we all think? Who would be the one to sacrifice themselves should it come to it? Don't be shy.
I think we all know what we've gotten ourselves into. I think we should all be ready to sacrifice our lives. That's just me. There is no picking and choosing, really, when you get right down to it.
Is that right? So, pray tell why you didn't all pluck an eye from your eye sockets when you chose to come here. That was a choice, wasn't it?
I don't have any.
That's fair.
Yeah, he's got a pass. But
What about Erethal's eyes? They're glowing. Maybe it could have opened a super portal of sorts. Maybe it would have opened a gate to Genesis himself.
I mean that's a nice fairy tale. I don't think that's how that works though.
You're trying to see which of us would turn against the other.
It's not about turning. I mean, if you want to talk about betrayal, which the word has popped up already, that's one thing. It's one avenue among many to go down. What about you, feathered one down there? If someone had to die in order for the big happy ending to come to fruition, who do you think it would be? He's looking at you, Disa.
If you're gonna insult me, correct.
These will think for a minute.
They go, wow, there's spaghetti N-word. Want to go that route? It's a classy one.
Before eventually just nodding, coming to a conclusion. I do like living, so I wouldn't want to die.
The Russell Harlow word.
If anyone had to die, I suppose it could be the metal one or Nadira. They're the meanest of the group here.
Perfectly rational. And I must say, you are rather simple in your complexion. I wouldn't necessarily call you a full-fledged mortal, but you certainly seem to be rapidly evolving to imitate one. I would love to know, what are your aspirations? You certainly enjoy mimicking a lot of what these people do, but what if what they mimic is not something enjoyable? What is the big prize for you at the end of this road?
Ooh, I have a lot of ideas. I would like a lot of tasty food. A mountain of shiny things that are pretty and gleam in the light. I would like to sing songs and hear more songs. I would like to learn of everything, really. It's all so interesting, especially the humans. I used to be simpler, but then a thing happened, and then I could think bigger. I suppose, now that I really think about it, I want everything.
Everything. What about that shiny thing that's behind your ear? I'd love to know what that is.
I'll crane my head to look like an owl 180 degrees.
And you do kind of feel something that is tugging, almost fixed, like it's stuck between your ear and the side of your head. And I imagine you're reaching to see what it is.
Yeah.
And you would extract it, and you have two shiny, glowing copper coins that were tucked there.
Neat.
And Zosros' eyes would widen a little. Look at that. 2 cents, as they say. Well, I'd say that maybe that is a piece of something that was once a part of someone's life and was long lost. Maybe it was yours, maybe it was someone else's. But hey, finders keepers, right? Perhaps if you tuck this away in your pocket, some knowledge can come your way.
If she had pockets.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh
It-
shit.
Ve-
Here,
very,
down here.
Very simply, there's... Oh, you're asking for it. I'll let you go.
I'll turn them into earrings. I got 2 paper clips. There you go.
Alright, I assume you're pocketing these glowing copper pieces.
yeah, sure. They are very shiny, and I would like them for my nest.
Alright, you're pocketing this, Diza?
Yeah, though,
Or, like, okay.
though I suppose I don't really have pockets, so I'm kind of like holding them in a mage hand close by to me.
Okay. You go to hold them for a little while, and after a few moments, you feel them sort of almost illuminate, and they become warm. And holding it in the mage hand, you look over and notice that these coins have dispersed and have melded with your mage hand, and you feel that tether to you, and you gain a very interesting piece of information. A fact. You're not sure what a wife is, but this figure here appears to be named Helena, the wife of a Dr. Veilhard. How interesting.
What?
Oh god, she's screaming!
Oh, that's
shit.
kind of along my line of thinking that I had in the back of my head. Just a different person.
Yeah, and that you can see that the shiny 2 copper pieces that were in your mage hand are now some sort of shiny fact. You can't help but ruffle your feathers a little bit, as that was very unexpected. You just thought it was a shiny thing, but now it did something you didn't expect. And Zozros is craning his neck, looking over at you, but he's not saying anything. But his stare is something you can feel.
Well, hand it out.
Let's see. Yeah, no, Deeza is stupid enough to just blurt out this fun fact as soon as they learn it.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll just look towards the woman and kind of wave their wing, like a hand wave, and say, "Hi, Helena."
Helena?
Pretty good bet.
Dr. Perseus Veilheart's face just drops, and his eyes go wide, and he looks over, his full attention now on the woman next to him. And his shaking intensifies.
Doctor? Are you
Helena.
alright?
My
This ought to be
God.
good.
How? Helena, how? He takes a stand up. And Zozros would flare some fire that would immediately stop his approach. Ah! Have some decency, Percy. We are having a conversation. It's unwise to stand up out of your chair in the middle of a proceeding. We
Doctor,
wouldn't
you know
want
this
to.
woman.
Homosexuality. Well,
This woman is my wife!
there it is.
Helena! My God, what happened to you?
I don't think she can respond, Doctor.
You would look over and see that the woman is lazily exchanging the stare, but is not emoting at all. She just seems to be very lackadaisically present, but barely.
B-Man.
Hi.
I know it's probably clear from context clue, but can I insight our gracious host to see if this was a knowingly done thing? Like, they know that that was Perseus's... like, a hint of it.
Go ahead and roll
Like, a
insight.
little too excited about it.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go.
You got me, Chief. You look over at Zozros in the midst of this revelation as Percy is breathing heavily, sweating, and is looking down Helena. And you see Zozros crack a smile. One of a carefully orchestrated plan that has been executed in just the way he intended.
Dying.
You're not sure why he did this. You imagine something is in it for him.
I doubt this was just a cruel jest on your part.
Simply put a different chess piece on the board.
Accusatory? Are you saying that I would play tricks on you? Because I certainly probably would. That's no secret.
I will
I'm a
reach into my bag of holding and put the wine goblet on the table.
Oh. Yes, I was rather disappointed that you didn't accept my invitation initially, but you did come around, didn't you? You enjoyed the meal here. So, what's one for turning
I
a new
will say
leaf?
pointedly, Dagny has not had a bite of the food.
Oh, you didn't eat the food.
I did not.
He would stop himself mid-sentence and looks down. Oh, Dagny, you are such a party pooper.
I'm very careful in who I know what to believe and what not to believe, and who to trust and who not to trust.
Oh, we want to talk about who to believe. I suppose when I spill the beans on Genesis that you're just going to dismiss it as a bunch of cleverly crafted lies. Well, if that's the case, then I suppose we should conclude our business here, send you on your merry way, and I won't have to tell any of my fibs to make you scowl at.
No,
No?
I don't believe you're capable of lying, but you hide certain truths in exchange for things that you want.
Welcome to dealing with devils, Dagny.
See? He gets it.
So let's get down to brass tacks. What is it that you want?
I'd like to create a mutually beneficial arrangement.
Which is?
He is looking over at Percy. And Percy is losing a bit of his nerve as his eyes keep darting over at Helena. And then back to Zosros.
Percy.
Percy, are you still with us? Yes, I'm sorry. Why is she here? And how? Oh, let's keep our cool here, Percy.
I have a feeling that's one of the memories that you've lost along the way, Doctor.
Graciously restored. You're most welcome. I think that this is something that is very important to you, and I've simply given it. What kind of big evil devil would do that?
Unless she's fully restored, there's not really much to go on. She's not even there.
Well, she is one of mine, so naturally she's inclined to do as she is told. That is, of course, unless these chains are severed.
I look at Percy and it's like, Percy, it's far be it from me to tell you how you should go about this. But I feel you should do whatever is the right thing.
If it came down to it, and if it was supposed to be either me walking free or her, it would be her every time, without question. Zosros leans into his chair, or towards the table, really, and clasps his hands onto the table, and there is clear intrigue. So we can help each other. Percy, you are just as valid a guest here as anyone else. I would suggest, if you want a soul of mine, then perhaps I can have that happen. But I would need something in return. A soul of yours, perhaps? And Percy would stand up, and he has these wide eyes and just nods furiously. I'll become whatever you need me to be. I'll come with you. I'll do whatever you want.
You're certain of this, Doctor?
Undoubtedly. And Zosros cranes his neck. You may be certain, but I'm not keen on that. That wasn't quite the direction we were supposed to head with that. You have something that is very important for me to complete my collection. And I'm sure
lantern.
that... now we are having all the cards laid out. It served its purpose. It's brought you here. And now it is time to
obviously for some greater purpose, it would seem.
Naturally.
Do you plan on dominating the overworld with it?
Heavens, no. That's more of a worldly affair. There's much too much to attend to down here.
If we give you this soul lantern, what will you do with it?
It would be given the same treatment as all of my other prized possessions.
She like he says that, and she just looks at the burning servants, and lastly on Helena.
Oh.
And then looks back at him.
And I'm gonna take you there.
to everyone that's present and actively listening in and forming their own thoughts, you all may roll insight on everything that's happening.
Okay.
The concentration camp.
That's funny.
Leave.
I mean, that is kind of what the whole fire village was, to be honest.
Yeah,
Damn it.
that's so
Rick.
funny.
He knows what he did.
He's just jealous. He wishes he could run one.
Your relatives were the ones running the camps.
I know. That's why I said ask them. They would know best.
That's funny.
I'm sorry, everybody.
It's actually
To Dagny, you simply have this intuitive thought that there's definitely some key information that he's leaving out here, and he's only showing exactly what he wants you to see. As for Erithal, this is your second insight crit on this, so that's huge, and you would have almost a bit of a epiphany as you're taking in everything.
I mean,
No,
He was
he
was-
Yeah, no, wait. Yeah, no, wait, I got a
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
oh
That's
I'm
from
looking at the wrong
That's from
insight
the
thing.
previous one.
I see.
Yeah, sorry.
That's my goof. Doi, they were made back to back. Oh, that's weird. But yeah, Dagny, you would realize one thing that he has yet to do is talk about Genesis in any capacity. He's almost purposely not making this about Genesis and is strictly focused on making an exchange where he can get this lantern.
There's something you're not telling us.
Whatever could that be?
The whole reason why we're here. Where is Genesis?
Oh, you are just an expert at ruining my fun, Dagny.
It's what I'm good
Oh.
He
at.
does that.
Very well. I suppose I at least owe you one little detail, considering all you've done for me. The show, the portal, everything. It's a true riot that you keep asking, where's Genesis? Where's Genesis? It's maddening. After all, you're in his presence right now and he led you here. I don't see how you haven't put it together by now. At least a piece of him.
I look at the lantern.
Had a fucking feeling.
Genesis?
There's something of a flare from the light in this chandelier. This is definitely Genesis, if not at least part of him.
Were you and Zosros working together when you were in physical form?
Oh, well, of course we were working together. We had some arrangements that were made. You see,
He broke his soul apart for the Hellfire generators.
naturally, he
For the
couldn't be in many places at once, so he rearranged himself so he could be. Quite the intuitive design when selling your soul. Now there's many pieces to bargain with. I happen to have the biggest one of them all. He couldn't quite juke me out of that, but look at that. The other pieces have come knocking.
a rare win.
That's why they wanted to be together.
A reunion. How heartwarming.
We still need information from him. Very important information to save our city. To save our
Well.
home.
Isn't that the predicament? I would propose, if you're willing to trade over this lantern to me, and I add it to my collection, we can put my portion of Genesis and your portion of Genesis together. I imagine with many fragments in my frame of his that he may just be able to form enough of himself to speak.
I'm gonna
And
say
we do this in
he's gonna
exchange
have a
for
Ruth
what?
Cage driver now.
Well, now that I'm thinking about it,
'Cause if he didn't learn
it seems if you give me the soul lantern, add it to my collection, and we put the pieces together, In exchange, I could offer you a forum with him, and you could interact in whatever ways that you need to. He wouldn't be able to come with you, of course. He would, of course, be still mine. But
Naturally.
getting your information, well, you can gab as much as you'd like.
Very well.
Do I hear a yes?
I have
Yes.
a question.
And a big house is more affordable.
Oh?
And give an actual, like, seems like a family.
I do not know what a soul is, really. Other than poofy white stuff? Like a cloud?
Well, yeah.
Oh. How about we tell you when you're older, dear?
Nobody knows.
We don't know exactly how old she is.
No, I
Well-
am not so stupid. What I mean to ask is, if you have a soul, does that kill the person?
Not necessarily. A soul is the manifestation of oneself in the most pure sense. Quite valuable, quite powerful, quite willing. You see, as fiends, it is the most careful form of currency. If you have souls at your behest, you can get quite strong down here. I've gotten quite good at what I do, and over all these years, I have been desperate to continue making a deal. And I think that what we have here could be fantastic for everyone. So, do we have a unanimous decision here? Will you trade me your antiquated old chandelier in exchange for an audience with Genesis?
Well, what about Helen?
Like, remember that lady?
Oh, never you mind her. She's not important anymore. And he snaps his fingers, and there is once again a whoosh of fire as all of those three are dispelled. And he has this shit-eating grin and just shrugs a little bit. Besides, it wasn't quite like the original Helena anyways. She had all the right assets in the right places, but she wasn't much for talking.
You
Jesus
really
Christ,
are a bastard.
dude. You-
Guilty as charged.
Well, I could care less about whatever is happening with this deal, so feel free to choose without me.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that the Genesis fragments led us here, specifically here, means that in some capacity, he anticipated this event.
Naturally.
That or it's just fragments trying to be whole again.
I mean, he's a startographer. He wouldn't do it without understanding the consequences.
I have a job.
This was a
I see no
choice.
issue with that line of thinking.
Mhm.
So, okay, out of character, we only needed information from Genesis?
All we know is we need to find Genesis.
Yes.
And if we take this deal, we're essentially handing Genesis over to the devil.
But we will have found him. Otherwise, we're going to have to rob him, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, theoretically, too, he would still have Genesis at some capacity with being able to talk.
Mhm.
I mean, theoretically, you could always... It might be a lot of talking involved, but theoretically, you could just come back and visit him again.
Yes,
I mean,
but
he's
we
only going to have the information he had before he split himself apart.
Yeah, but
So,
While this is going on, you do hear something abrupt overhead. As there is this infernal flash, no more than half a mile off. And you look at your surroundings and you can understand that this garden is mounted along the side of a very steep cliffside. And it looks like the thunderous roar of some form of combat just erupted nearby, and you see Zozros roll his eyes, and he grits his teeth with a genuine frustration, for he slams his fist on the table again. Now of all times. Well, this is something, isn't it? Well, it seems as though we need some time to think things over, so I'm going to take care of a quick little eensy-beensy errand. But, just so we're not tempted, he snaps his fingers, and your chairs would all collectively grow these hands that would grip you at the ankles and at your wrists, restraining all of you.
Ew.
For he excuses himself. I will return in a matter of... Well, it should be relatively quick, I suppose. I need to go kill someone. Have fun thinking things over. I trust you'll make the right decision for all of us.
I'm so sorry, Doctor.
I should have expected as much. At least I remember her now.
Diversion is what that was. Meant to play with your feelings. Try to get us to
Such are the tactics of a devil. Speaking of devils,
Yes.
Azeroth, huh?
Correct.
So what does destined stand for?
Don't know.
Something that Ragni gave you?
Probably.
Yeah.
That's all I wish to find out.
I can't really get
really.
mad at him. He's so matter of fact.
I just have a question of why I am in this form, why I was taken from my last location, whether it be Avernus, or the 4th layer, or the 6th, or the 9th. I don't remember what layer I was in.
And when
Battles
you have this
blur together.
information, what will you do then?
Probably, it depends on the information. If it's worth my curiosities of traveling with you, I will keep traveling with you. If not, return to the Hells. Maybe retire. I have a lofty title, and I was given with that title came not royalty by blood, but royalty by name. So whether that be a cushy little bodyguard job where I barely do anything and live my life however long, or just retire to what Zozoth or whatever his name is
Zoros.
has here.
That's a risk I'm not willing to take.
I think, Erthal, you're...
Yeah, Tiza,
Yeah?
I'm curious. That trick you do to
That was
read, essentially, our minds when we sleep and enter our dreams,
yeah,
could you get a sense of what that wants?
Sure. Am I able to perform the components to
no,
cast
that's
detect
the water.
thoughts, B-Man?
If it requires somatic components, you are restrained currently by the wrists. And it seems like it's an intentional design to prevent that sort of thing.
So I can't perform somatics.
Yeah, it seems like these chairs were kind of thought out. However, should you have anything that allows you to teleport, it may just work.
Connor,
Unfortunately, I do not.
that fucking night thing about his company, you were just going.
You know what would be funny?
Mm-hmm.
Just using a word of radiance on the chairs.
Oh,
Because it
shit.
doesn't require somatics just to get free.
I know what.
But that specifies creatures, so I highly doubt it would affect objects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question. Can I get my foot to reach someone's shadow?
Currently, you, like as I mentioned, you're restrained at the wrists
Ankles?
and
Can't finagle at all?
ankles. So I mean, if you're able, you can try to to like shimmy your chair and touch it with your foot that way. However, these are heavy chairs, and it will require a beefy strength check.
I was about to suggest a stupid idea, but I don't think that would work. I was gonna say try to go into your own shadow, but that's not how the spell works.
Not how the thing works,
No.
I know. Well, or my thought was just turn into a giant thing that a chair can't hold. Because,
Turn into a small thing that the chair can't hold.
I also thought about that too. There are
Fuck, I
options.
have a spell that would be against... Damn, but I don't have it prepared. Fuck.
I
It's
wild
not every
shape into
day
a
you get
cat.
restrained.
Just turn into a cat.
Wait, freedom of movement?
Yeah, I don't have
Figured
it
as much.
prepped.
No.
Yeah. No, because we don't really run into things that give us like half movement or like honestly paralyze or restrain us. Oh wait, no. Freedom of movement.
And
I don't know
to
if that's
further
even
my
how that-
conversation with you, Dagny, I do wish to eventually be free of this keystone, considering I'm no longer in my favored Hellfire engine.
Do you resent being with us in the first place?
Do it. Wait, what? Say it again.
Do you resent being with us in the first place?
Not really. You're merely tools to get to my destination of Ragni. Because from what it seems like, that he seems to be somebody in your path at some point. But if it's getting too long, my curiosity may not may run out.
And you'll
Dog.
go off on your own.
Hey, dog. Hey.
Yes, Disa.
I have a question.
Ask.
Is what the red man said true? That
About
not
what?
having a soul does not kill you?
To not have a soul means you do not have a mind that thinks. You are a thinking, feeling being, therefore you have a soul. You think, therefore you are.
Weird.
I know it's hard for you to comprehend given that this was not your state of being at the beginning, but you will soon come to accept it as your intelligence grows, I suppose.
Not having a soul doesn't necessarily mean that you are dead. Technically, everybody is immortal depending on your line of thinking. Like Dagny and the rest of you, I'm sure you still remember Dismas. As long as you remember him, is he alive? He has not truly ceased existence.
They say you die 3 times, though.
Oh my god, you guys are giving me a fucking headache. He's going to try to sort of hop around in his chair to face the lantern.
Okay. Roll strength if you want to attempt this.
Alrighty, let's see here.
Speaking out of game, why don't you go big?
Yeah, fair enough.
Regrettably, you're not able to move this very much.
Oh, damn it. Fuck it. What is this, mahogany? Good lord.
You would look down and would recognize that these chairs are made of this strange red velvet and infernal metals.
Everything according to design.
Can I try to wild shape into a rat?
Sure.
Or some kind of small rodent? Hamster, guinea pig, rat, chinchilla, take your pick.
Okay.
You're
You
gonna
are
get
wild
naked
shaping
mole
into a rat.
Take it or leave it.
I'll wild shape into a rat.
You wild shape into a rat. And let me see. Do you have
Knowing my
access
luck,
to
the
this?
hands are gonna grab me.
Just the chair shrinks with you, and then you're just a rat in a chair.
Oh
It's
my god,
tiny.
that'd be so cute though.
You wild shape into a rat and plop onto the seat of this chair. You see that the hands are responding and are attempting to grab onto you, but you have an avenue here to escape.
Would
Let's
like
see.
to jump off the chair.
Make a dex save.
Away from the fucking hands. How do I dex save for rat?
So I double click on the token. You have access now, and it's the same way as you do anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh god. Rat dex is terrible. Ooh, I did not mean to double click. I'm sorry.
Let's do the first
Oh,
roll.
the first one's an 11.
Does anyone want to give her inspiration?
I have
Why don't she
inspiration.
just... Yeah.
I would recommend using it.
Okay. So just roll it again.
Just click the plus that's next to it.
Yeah, you hover over your 11. There's a plus on the right side. You hit that. It'll roll with
Thanks
advantage.
for walking me through this, guys. I suck. It's fine.
Sorry to say that you would wild shape, and there is some limited sentience to this chair, as those two arms that were restraining your wrists would clasp and grab you, rat style. So now you are being clamped with your little head poking out from between the palms, but you are once again stuck.
Free me.
One thing that is curious while this is happening, the soul lantern during this time has been slowly moving this way, high above you, in the direction of that sun.
Genesis.
Oh shit. It's within my line of sight. Can I establish a mental link? Telepathic
You can.
speech. Yeah.
And a link is established. Rather than touching the mind of one creature, you feel like you have entered an audience hall where there are several unique voices that are all arguing with one another. And it seems, in short, that there is a conflict internally with this chandelier. One voice is saying to move towards the piece of it that it senses. The other one is saying to withhold doing something rash as to not anger a powerful fiend. The other one is considering the fact that they may be trapped anyways, as a bad deal may be struck. There's a lot of turmoil between these voices that are ultimately considering, should it take a risk on its own or leave its fate in the hands of all of you? It seems to be leaning towards going rogue.
Shit. I guess Genesis doesn't want to wait.
Genesis.
Alright.
My guess would be that because all of its pieces, or at least a strong piece is near, it's probably screwing with it, making it want to connect even more now that it's so close.
And it seems that he's not content with us trading away his soul, and I don't really blame him.
It's not too bad.
For fuck's sake.
Man.
Genesis!
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Since these things are technically of some limited sentience, would I be able to use Word of Radiance to try to essentially damage them enough to free myself?
You can try!
Oh, the chair, or...
Alright,
The chair,
the
right?
chair... The chair must make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh my god. Alright.
Hey, each creature of your
DC
choice, so you could do every chair.
Let's see here. You're targeting the chair.
Chair.
Okay.
Actually, it's technically the chair that I'm on, and the chair Deez is on, because within 5 feet.
Alright. So we'll make 2 Constitution saving throws here for the fucking chair.
Chair gone. Chair gone.
You should probably
Remind me the DC?
DC is 15.
Okay. Your chair would pass, Deez's would fail.
Alright. We're... So... 2d6.
Yeah.
And because I have potent spellcasting, it's with my wisdom modifier, which is a +4.
I'll follow you. Okay, you're good. You're good.
12.
Ah. And you would see that your radiance would singe the infernal metal that is making this chair. It seems like radiance and infernal materials do not get along very well. And you would see that the edges begin to spark and would turn a low shade of red as though heating up substantially. Diza, you can feel the heat on this. However, the heat is damaging your chair and is also loosening a bit. As it gets hotter, it gets more malleable. You think if Erithal keeps doing that, it'll eventually loosen up, although you may get a little bit of a burn in the process. But you ultimately may be able to free yourself.
Self did not count.
If Diza does tell me to stop, Erithal will stop, but essentially I'm flavoring it as, well, he's doing Word of Radiance, he's just kind of, essentially praying to Zula.
I see. This is a cantrip, so obviously you can keep doing this. So I presume, are you wishing to continue this?
Unless Diza tells me to stop, he will continue.
All right.
Yeah, no, sorry, I'm being sullen. I'm thinking of...
Oh, okay.
Because I have an idea of what to do in my own head, but it's really hard reading what the group as a whole is really wanting to do here. Are we...
Yeah, out of character, why don't you think it over? Because there's a couple avenues you can take right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm thinking about just having the lantern guide us through, attempting to recollect the soul fragments, and then
Getting the fuck out as fast as possible?
Yeah, and then as soon as we do have them, or if we ever get caught along the way, we can perhaps use the cartographer core to basically abscond for an hour, try to sort of confuse them, obfuscate the trail. We've got a lot at our disposal, really. It's just we can't get caught.
I mean, I'm of a mind to just stay here because we don't know where we are. We don't even know the layout of the building. A demon owns it. And who knows, even if we do get free of these chairs, who's to say that all of these cruel jokes that are around are going to just let us do whatever? And who knows what's beyond this gate that's there. We're literally in a complete unknown.
I get that, but also the lantern is moving without us.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to get
I'm
the.
gonna do my own thing.
That's why I was trying to get the lantern's attention.
I will say, when you scream, well, yeah, fucking my ears, first of all, but when you were to yell at the other name Genesis, it did come to a halt. It seems conflicted.
If you want us to help you, you have to set us free.
It would hang suspended for a few moments. And it would just ever so slightly nudge back. But you feel this unspoken language between you and Genesis, or at least whatever part of Genesis is there. And you just get the idea that if it wanted or thought that it could free you, it likely would have tried by now. Perhaps it's not able to be of assistance to you directly.
Erithal, whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
Okay, just pause for out of character for a second here.
Yep.
Pretty much Cobweb's voting for fuck it, we balls to the wall fight, and just, fuck the devil and all of his shenanigans. And Destined has kind of voted for, let's sit around and see if we can talk this out, diplomatic kind of thing. Is that right?
Yes.
Just about, yeah.
Correct.
Okay, so that's kind of one vote for each side of...
I'm with Cobweb.
One vote for the complete extreme opposites.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I want to know, is where we're at on that.
I'm for diplomacy.
And you, Dagny?
So it's 2-2 now.
Yeah.
I'm with Cobweb.
Okay, so 3 fight, 2 talk. The thing is, for me, I also did want to try talking.
Fuck!
Fair
Which
enough.
leaves Percy.
Which is the DM. Which is...
Yeah.
Well, let's be real. If we fight him, what are the chances we'd even win that fight?
Well, the thing is, we don't have to fight him. We just need to get Genesis.
Yeah. My
Ideally,
Agree.
we
A
don't
man
fight at all.
in his own environment. What makes you think if we start shit, if we steal and try to run, I'm sorry, what makes you think we could?
The thing is,
Because
if we
Genesis
can
is
get
powerful.
out of the hells,
this is in shorts.
if we can get out of the hells before he rains down on us like the fucking Holy Ghost, then if we can get back to the material plane, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Did you forget all those fucking
His
devils
turf.
coming out of that portal? He could
Well,
fucking
yeah,
follow
but
us.
the thing is, we were gonna have to go through that anyway.
No, I'm saying
So-
he could follow us if he wanted.
Oh, fair enough.
He knows our
Exactly,
names.
yeah. So if I don't know if you guys remember, but he did say that we opened that portal and now he's free to go back and forth from the material plane. He made that like known. So we'd have to close the portal if that's the way we want to go.
Like, I don't want to say.
Pretty much the situation as I see it here is forge our own path and make a very strong enemy, or
Not being able to.
diplomacy and maybe lose something and gain a potential ally.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And we are split 50-50 on that as a group.
Why doesn't someone roll a d20, pick a side, odds and evens? At this point,
Fuck it, point
we're
flip.
not gonna agree.
Tails never fails.
I mean, who knows when he's actually going to get back to?
This could also just be an elaborate trick he's pulling to see what we do.
You're right, but
Regardless,
what is it? The Lantern's hesitance to be traded away makes me think that we're sort of missing something. We don't have the whole picture as far as the Lantern is concerned.
Well, we can get the whole picture if we stay and talk and try to draw more out of him.
Well, alrighty. I won't blow nothing up if you guys want to talk, but
Oh, yeah, it's pretty much because there's not a good, what I'm pretty much getting at. What you guys want is kind of already at the baseline what the deal is at the moment. Get your answers from Genesis, and that is kind of what you guys need for the next step. Like, that's baseline deal with the devil at the moment. And pretty much the idea is obviously we're working on the assumption that Genesis, having his soul toted around with us, would be extremely helpful to your cause, instead of being within the trappings of a devil's realm.
yeah, pretty much.
What I'm kind of getting at with my idea here is we could try and work something out with this devil to get a situation where everyone wins. Like, the baseline is we get answers, he keeps the soul. But what if we finagle the deal a bit to where we get to keep Genesis whole for a while? And, like, safe passage out of here.
I think I see what you're talking about, because the whole situation is they have less people to make deals with. If we have Genesis whole, we could stop the attackers, and then there would be more deals, more souls. It's a win-win.
Yeah, this devil has something to gain from humanity winning this conflict.
All right, I'll change my vote. I'm with that then, since we do actually have a few ideas then.
Yeah, so
fair enough.
diplomacy wins.
When you put it like that.
Like,
Because I was thinking about that, but then I was like, I don't know.
I don't want to, like, step on anybody's toes. Like, that's just my thought process. If anyone else wants to pitch in with their stance, please do so. Because this is kind of a group choice we're making here.
Well, so speaking with that, if you need like an extra bargaining chip, considering Destined has said, or Azeroth, whatever you want to call him now, he's made his intention clear that he's basically just going with pure curiosity with you guys, and he seeks, like I said, just like retirement. So if you need somebody to bargain with, Destin would be open to do that, because at least he gets something that he wants out of it as well, even if he has to forego his search for Ragni. If that helps the negotiations in any way, considering I have, at least in the demon world and everything, like a lofty title, I'm worth something more than you guys, unless he has ulterior motives.
Probably does.
All right. So, the general consensus that I'm getting from everyone is we want to err on the side of diplomacy and try to negotiate with Zozros. Is that
Yes.
accurate?
Yes.
Okay. I will say, for brevity's sake, that this is discussed through everyone in character, and it's clear to say that everyone effectively comes to an agreement. Nadira is shaking your little rat head, yes, I suppose. And the
Red
chandelier is listening intently and ultimately would come to an understanding and ultimately judges that your course of action seems pretty sound and is worth trusting, for it then reassumes its original stance as to not draw the ire of the devil upon return. And with that, having things seemingly settled, you wait.
I will glance at the mouse and say, you should probably go back to being a human again.
I did not expect that.
I just stare back expectantly,
Nadira.
That'd probably be a good idea.
wiggling my little legs.
I think this is a good point to take a 10-minute break, just so I
good,
can.
I need to pee.
Oh, I need to pee.
Yeah. All right, reconvene at 10:34.
Yay.
10:34. Alright.
Come here.
Oh, man. The option to go doomslayering through the castle didn't win. Crazy.
Can't wait till someone takes a level in Druid and it's just gonna be like this. A rat.
Yeah.
Alright, I got
What?
Oh, man. I can't wait till next level sorcerer, because then I get to be huge.
Hugh.
here's level 1.
Whoa! Actual kaiju. Alright, I'm gonna go smoke real quick.
Meh.
I saw it was 18 of my other
Mm.
two. Right. Oh, there's something wrong with me.
Oh, there's something wrong.
It's only 9:25. Oh, game started. Connor can't do that to me. Sorry. Finish your point.
Don't you be yelling at the animals.
Okie dokie.
Who did you yell at?
Huh?
Was that you who yelled at somebody, or was that Amazon?
I've been yelling, so who knows?
Okay, I heard like "get out" or "ow" or something like that.
Oh, no, that was me.
Okay.
Yeah, that was an ouch.
Well, watch out for whatever you ran into.
The husband is being a nuisance.
That's correct.
Oh, that's just Eric. That's just how he is.
Just Eric.
Yeah, but the minute they got married, the nuisance went up to 11.
You're handsy.
And not in a good way.
Like, it's been 12 years, okay? I'm used to it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I'm conditioned at the stupid.
I mean, and how many years were you waiting?
Fuck off.
No, it's true though.
Well, to be fair, we were children for half our relationship.
Well, yeah, I mean, but then there's also, I'm pretty sure, like, I think Eric told me, he's like, I quite literally couldn't afford it.
Well, it's expensive.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, well, I did my waiting. 10 years of it. An emotional escapade.
And you know how emotional he is.
Huh?
And you know how emotional he is.
Ugh.
uh,
Dropping boys.
This dick.
uh,
Nothing. No reaction. Dumb.
you should just yell into his mic. To annoy the
Well,
people
when
he's
I
talking
went
with.
downstairs to go to the bathroom, I stood behind him and went in his mic, and he jumped. So, that was worth it. And luckily, to come behind me at my desk, he would have to bend over a lot because of the ceiling grade. I am
Yeah.
small, you asshat.
Fences.
Yeah, and
I
while I
am-
was
I
making
am
a joke about that,
bite-sized.
it is like kind of smart. You are quite literally like maximizing the room by putting yourself in that little short people corner.
Only I can put baby in a corner.
Tuh.
Yeah, well, I mean, realistically, like, the desk will fit fine no matter what you want to do. But if you're taller than me, like, you're gonna hit your head every time you stand.
Yeah, and
Fuck you.
that's what I meant. Like, as much as I was making a joke about it, it's like legitimately smart for maximizing space in your room.
Yeah, I thought so. That's kind of why I wanted to do it, and why I wanted L shape specifically, because then I can sit with the grade to my back, because it doesn't bother me.
And just L desks are great.
Not all of
I-
us need to compensate with our height, asshat.
He's not that much taller, so I don't know why he'd be compensating for.
You're not average height.
Nah, he's slightly below.
I was gonna say, you're 5'10".
Oh no, he's above
Calm
average
down.
height then.
Is it?
Yeah, I think average height is like 5'8", 5'9" for men.
I'm not being aggressive. I would hardly
The
call that
nay is aggressive.
Oh no, this isn't aggressive.
This isn't aggressive.
No.
Devin and Brendan
even
have
close.
seen me be aggressive.
Oh yeah, I've been on the recipient of it,
Yeah.
whether it was deserved or not. But yeah, most of the time it is.
Most of the time it is.
I'm a little instigator.
Yeah,
if you
'cause you're
couldn't
only
tell.
an inch taller than me.
Also,
Oh yeah, I know, but I
You're a couple
own that
inches taller
inch.
than me.
Also, this is gonna sound extremely weird because Disa, while getting smarter, is still kind of dumb so far. But
He's
I
a nut.
I kind of wanted to try and take the lead on bargaining here
Oh Jesus.
because I have, at least in my mind, a really tempting offer for him.
I give you shiny if you give us shiny.
Well, I mean, theoretically, even if it was like a joke, like sentence I heard before, is like the never argue with a stupid person because then they will drag you down to their level and beat you with experience.
Yeah.
Theoretically, we could use that. I know Diza's not that dumb considering she can like speak even if it's broken, but it makes sense in a way.
She's gotten a lot smarter. Like,
Well, exactly, yeah.
I'd say, like, at this point, she's like at least on par with Cobweb.
It's gonna be like watching Beavis and Butthead. Hopefully most of us are old enough to understand that reference.
Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
suppose I'm suppose, like, what I'm getting at is that Disa's not, like, necessarily stupid. It's more so she lacks information and
Right.
details
Yeah.
to be naive like that. But they're not. What I'm saying is, I
Yeah.
have a good argument.
Naive
in
is
my
the
head.
correct word.
Right.
I have a really good argument, and I would appreciate if you try and let me try it out.
Go ahead if you have an actual idea, which I don't think anybody else really has. I think we were. It seemed like we were just gonna kind of wing it.
No, I just had the feeling I wasn't going to be the one leading this.
Hmm.
That won't be happening.
But yeah, if you have an idea and we're all cool with it, yeah, you could take the lead.
Hmm.
Because I was fully in the mind of wing it once we hear what he has to say.
I'm not dealing
Yep.
Ow, 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 ow.
You okay?
I found
Yeah.
a hangnail.
Oh.
That's worse than a cat.
And I imagine Disa would be asking a bunch of, like, smaller questions and information on details at you guys as she kind of formulates this plan in her head.
Hmm.
Was Potato Lord? Hello!
I'm guessing that's the baby.
That's the other baby.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Come here, Potato.
Which potato is it though?
Bowser.
Ah, yes, the crippled one.
Shut up, he perfect.
Oh no, he's great.
He's wonderful.
He just has 3 legs. That's okay.
I mean, all things considered, he bounced back pretty quick. From
Right?
my understanding.
Meanwhile, Percy.
Oh,
right?
stay here, Potato.
Yeah. Here's the image of your dead wife. To torment
Oh,
you.
I know for a fact that if we kept letting Percy kind of be like, oh yeah, it's gonna be me and everything, he not only would he, the deal would absolutely be not in his favor no matter what.
Yeah.
Like he wouldn't even bother to return his wife. He would just,
Yeah, he
I
wouldn't
have
haggle.
control of Percy. Well, I'm gonna take the wife back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't haggle. He'd just take it at face value.
Yeah.
This is my bitch. No, this is my bitch.
I am here.
No, you're not. You're just a figment of my collective schizophrenia.
Also worth mentioning when Zosros gave that remark, like, oh, it was an imperfect copy anyways, you would surmise that
Oh yeah.
arguably wasn't even the real thing. That was just, like, some weird construct.
Fake.
Yeah, a fake.
A
Also,
minor illusion.
one thing that I did kind of want us to start doing, especially now for like negotiations and whatnot. Like, okay, Disa, you can cast detect thoughts, right?
I never watched it.
So,
Not right now.
I mean,
I can't move my legs.
Oh well, fair enough. Yeah. Well, if you cast detect thoughts on somebody and then I telepathic speech you, that is a 3-way call, which could be really good for like setting up lies and getting our story straight and stuff. You know.
but if I remember correctly, not to put a damper, detect thoughts, if it fails the save or if it passes the saving throw,
They know.
it realizes you're trying to read its mind, right? The target.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but if it's on a willing person, I don't think.
But oh,
Yeah, I mean that's true. Yeah, but I don't know many people who are willing to have their thoughts read.
It's okay.
Oh.
I don't need to do any tricks or lie. I have a plan.
Oh boy. The brightest among us, my star pupil.
Against my better judgment.
Among Us.
We will move forward.
Yeah.
Before long, having everyone reached a conclusion to negotiate, there would finally be a whoosh of fire as Zosros reappears. He is breathing heavily And you can see that his well-maintained hair is now a bit unkempt, and his eyes are a bit exhilarated. His sword is out and is covered in all manners of soot, grime, and a bit of blood. And he appears somewhat winded and
Oh.
looks towards all of you once again. And after a tense stare down for a second, he would finally talk.
Good.
Coming through that silly little gate of yours, were you followed?
Oh boy.
Could have been.
Followed how?
It's a yes or no question, Dagny. Not
Well-
terribly difficult.
Not that
Well,
I
we-
know of.
Oh.
You know damn well we
Yeah.
didn't shut the door behind us.
Wonderful. Then I suppose we should come to our agreements sooner than later.
Yes, indeed. We talked, and would like to expand on the deal.
Expand.
Oh, yes. You see,
Trickery.
oh, no trickery. More so,
Really? I smell a rat.
I just look at him and wave my little legs.
Insolence. Very well then. He would
God.
snap his fingers and the chairs release everyone.
That's what I'm saying.
You have the floor.
to go over things we talked about here. This place, Avernus Hell, runs off souls for this economy, business, power, deals. This has been in a decline due to humanity on the world dying out, being exterminated, killed, dead. What this group wants is to save humanity. I also like humans and would not like to see all of them die. So, Genesis is very smart human who is very important to this war. This group wishes to speak with him, very obviously, yes. But also, it would be a great help to humanity if Genesis were to return to the world in some form to assist in this war. Now, I am aware that you have made a deal with Genesis. That, I believe, according to this deal you have made with him, that his soul rightfully belongs to you.
Naturally.
But I did have an idea. If it is a possibility for Genesis to return to the world, at least for a time, until the war is in humanity's favor, that would help Hell and you exponentially. For many reasons. First and foremost, humans living longer, making more humans, having babies, not being exterminated. And second of all, I have noticed many humans are afraid of selling their souls. But as you said, Genesis was able to split his soul into many pieces. If Genesis were to show humans how to split their souls into pieces and use that as currency with devils, that would increase the amount of deals Hell is receiving from humanity. So not only would humans live longer to make such deals, they would be more willing to make such deals by breaking their souls into tinier pieces to trade. So the offer is to allow Genesis to return to the world, at least for a time. Think of it as an investment that will help you and Hell very much.
Roll persuasion.
I am shocked.
Oh shit.
That
I'm
was so
using
sound.
I'm using my inspiration for this.
High DC. You're trying to negotiate with the devil over souls, so go for it. What the fuck?
Okay.
Expertise.
Baby.
Hey.
Ooh, baby.
Christ!
Charismatic bird.
Ooh, baby, a triple.
Ooh.
Tweet that bitch.
Zozros has this deadpan stare at you the entire time you're talking. And eventually... Outstanding! When did you become the expert economist in the party? You raised some good points. After all, I can simply pull the leash back and drag him back into hell as I need to, now that this gate is open especially. And it would be nice to have a flow once again. I think we can take this into consideration, however. I want to see what your interaction with Genesis entails. After all, there's a lot riding on this, isn't there? There's so much knowledge in that. I'm getting tingly just thinking about it, quite honestly. How about this? You give me that soul lantern. We form Genesis. You get your information. And he has a loose leash to come with you. However, I will be keeping a very close eye on not only Genesis, but all of you. Should I feel like this investment is turning sour, I will simply yank my property back to where it belongs at any time. And that will be that. So long as your actions bear fruit, I think that this could be a beneficial arrangement for everyone. All right. If we're all set in stone, preferably someone with the most well-established penmanship would need to sign on the line, if you would. You can
Give it
see
here.
that a very long and infernal scroll has manifested in his hands and would extend down the length of half the table. And if you are stepping up to the plate, Cobweb, he would toss you a quill.
Yeah, what is it? He sort of stomps onto the table. And in perfect giant, he writes his name.
Oh, okay. I was gonna add some
Aerithal.
stuff, but he says,
Oh, go ahead.
well, like outside of the game, are we okay with him having a leash? Because who knows? He could still pull him back at any point in time. Who knows what he deems?
I mean, he'd
as-
have no reason to fuck us over for no reason.
So long as we uphold our end of the bargain of
Yes.
essentially encourage humanity to make more deals, which think of where humanity's at right now. Making deals with devils for power would increase their chance of survivability in the world, and therefore this war. This is not only a boon for Genesis and this devil as well, but for humanity as well. Think about it. With Deez's argument, having Genesis explain to humanity the process he went to break apart his soul into little pieces for trading with devils not only allows people to retain a measure of their humanity and soul, but also gain power to assist in the survival of their species. Like, once you really think about this, humans making more deal while still retaining at least a part of themselves is the best kind of deal we can get here.
Yeah. Not only that, but the implications that we could put the souls into actual keystones and have keystones powered by fractions of your own soul. Like, that's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm coming around. That's what's up.
I also did want to ask B-Man.
Yeah.
is Disa able to kind of look over this contract? And I imagine they know at least a basis of written words, would you say?
This is written in Infernal. Do you understand that language?
Let me see. No, I do not. So never mind.
So I can, and I was also gonna bring that up too. As somebody who's made deals before, I would like to go over the contract since I can read it.
Okay. You have your keen eyes being privy to the way that fiends function, and you go over all the details. And it takes you a good couple of minutes to get through it all. Ultimately, it is sound, and effectively, it is to the letter on how it is agreed. However, it is vague on when this leash, as it's described, gets pulled, and it is stated clear that at the end of the day, the souls that all collectively make Genesis are Zozros's. This is just more like a lease that has loose terms on when he determines it ends.
Yeah, we're like renting him, I guess.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
So, but what I was trying to bring up was, do you want to see if we can get more out of it by perchance maybe not having him have a leash and just be free? Because then that's even more beneficial then.
I'm not sure
theoretically.
he would go for that.
No.
It's very unlikely that he would go for that.
Could I relay this deal to the lantern itself and try to gauge its sort of what its temperature is on this subject?
So you have a understanding on like the sentience of the soul chandelier here, that it is able to listen in and understand everything that's being talked about. So it's up to speed on what's going on here. And you don't see it necessarily protesting what's happening. So you, using your abilities, do establish a connection, and you find that there is consensus among the choir of voices. They agree. There is something, however, you detect in the back of its mind, if you can call it that. A sort of, this is good, but sort of thing. And it's whispers, as if there's a couple voices in the back of an auditorium that are scheming something. And you feel like it's a unspoken necessary evil sort of situation. You don't really know what this means, but you think that Genesis may have some news to divulge that someone may not like, or may do something someone may not like. It's just, there's a seed of doubt in all this. However, it still nonetheless agrees with everything that's going on here.
Okay. Well, I mean, that consent, unanimous though it may not be, that's good enough for Cobweb.
All right. And I presume the contract is being signed in full and is effectively being set in stone.
Chicken scratch.
All right.
I imagine, what's your face? Destined is verbally kind of explaining and reading it out.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be able to relay this to everyone else. You feel like writing this in Inferno was kind of a cheeky little thing where you couldn't read the terms and conditions, but you, of course, would make this clear to everyone, circumventing that.
Yeah.
All right. And with it being signed, across his face. Well then, look at that. We all could be friends after all. Well, there's no sense in leading us all on any further. Let's make these two halves a whole and see what this Genesis has to say. I'm sure he'll be delighted to converse with me once again. Come now. It's not like you're restrained anymore.
And Dagny stands up.
Airthil will stand up.
Web hops off. Oof!
Nadira, do you need me to carry you, or do you want to change back?
Stay as the rat.
I was gonna just trot along. I can
Staying
do.
in rap form.
Why not?
It's your choice.
Don't judge me.
Yeah, don't waste the wild shape. Fuck
I'm
it.
not gonna waste it. I might as well stay a rat.
I will hold out my hand to pick up Nadira.
I'm just gonna stick up my nose and keep moving.
I just had a disturbing thought. That gerbil.
I have legs.
Has that been absorbed into her?
Yeah, Rasputin's. I don't know where Rasputin is.
Well, it probably
He's
in
in the
whatever
back
pocket
rooms.
dimension that all the
I
rest
was
of
gonna
the
say they
armor
go
and
into
everything
like
goes
the
in.
pocket. Yeah,
Yeah. We'll just call it that.
he's having fun in Bob Ross land.
All right. Everyone may move their tokens as they see fit. The cruel jokes seem to be dancing and springing their way over because they wouldn't dare miss the chance to have an audience for something like this. You can see that they are grinning ear to ear, eager to see what becomes of the arrangement that has just been made. And of course, the soul lantern that you have escorted here would stand before this inferno. And as it approaches, there's a white pinprick of light that is visible at the center of this glowing sun. And before long, you see that this lantern slowly approaches and makes contact as it melds into the sun. There's a tenseness, and you see many white lights congregate inside of this sun, brighter than the actual surface itself, and you feel the coalition take place. You would see within the sun many soul lanterns on chains would wrap around one another and would form a humanoid shape. And in a matter of moments, a being is staring back at all of you. You are in the presence of a startographer made manifest. Genesis has formed before your very eyes. And you can feel an intelligence, a consensus among many, many voices as it observes its audience. And after a few moments of seemingly gathering its thoughts, Startographer Genesis would speak.
Well met, cartographers. We are Genesis. We have unified our stream of consciousness, emanating from the cosmic core, bound to several beings present here. We share its worldview, and have received a prognosis for worldly events which led you here. We are Genesis, and we have reached a consensus on immediate actions. Are you prepared?
Yes.
Yeah, we didn't walk here for nothing.
You can see that Zozros has pulled, it looks like breadcrumbs out of nowhere and is munching on them as if to watch a play unfold before his very eyes. He's very intently listening. Erithal, you do have a stupidly high passive perception trademark. And you notice Zozros' gaze would eventually leave Genesis and is more so concerned on the sky to the northeast, in the direction that he seemingly went to when he stepped out. His attention is divided. However, Genesis would continue addressing everyone here.
You are all collectively the chosen network of living beings to fulfill the long-term goals of the Startographers. Within this physical platform you are speaking to resides a congress of souls working in unison. An estimated 789 mortal soul equivalents can be found within. Each voice is unique and demonstrates a unique perspective on topics of interest. The Startographers sacrifice their humanity to become non-biological beings in order to withstand the entropy of time and ensure desired paths are followed. In order to save humanity, we had to abandon ours. Our philosophy was simple. If you cannot let it go, it's not worth holding on to. Understand our sacrifice, and the possibility you one day may have to follow it.
You would feel the gaze of Genesis would scan over all of you, looking for some form of understanding and acceptance that one day you may have to make great sacrifices of your own. It does air a familiar tone that Zozros had brought up earlier. Is anyone making any sort of motions, or are they intent on continuing to listen?
Well,
Yeah, listen.
I tell you what, Mr. Genesis. I think we've made more than our fair share of sacrifices, and we're ready to continue.
You
Hasn't
must
slowed me
be
down much.
prepared to continue making those sacrifices. We have all learned this and accepted the harsh reality.
It's been on a long journey. We understand the meaning of sacrifice.
Be prepared to sacrifice everything, including your kingdom. Your civilization is reliant on the technology originally conceived by Startographers. Our technology. By using it, your fates have followed a trajectory we intended.
What?
Avoiding further digression, we have determined your path here. The time has come to unbound the seal residing at the center of Highshire and wielding the power of God. You require the seal breaker.
Yes.
We will forge it for you. This, however, requires souls within our own network to be expended in order to augment your core. We regret to inform you, this action will therefore violate the deal arranged with the devil, as souls will be irreparably delegated to you. Violence is imminent. We apologize.
Oh shit.
I look at Zozros.
Zozros snaps back towards Genesis, and his wings flare up. Is that right? And who's going to relinquish these souls? Am I going to have to enslave everyone here? As compensation? Deals can be altered. And if you're choosing to do so on your own, I'd be glad to override the terms we just agreed on. I thought you all more civil than this.
Believe me, I had no idea he would do this.
Oh, well, isn't this something? He flies over.
Oh god.
How unfortunate things had to turn out this way. Well then, Genesis, if you're going to pull the trigger, then I suggest you do so, and then we can get down to more aggressive negotiations.
Oh no.
Just a nervous rat, just pacing.
You will present the cartographer's core. We will give you what you need to set this world free.
And
Genesis.
I did want to, if possible, unless we're fully locked in on kind of like try and speak up and dissuade people trying to kill each other, if that's a possibility.
you can speak up, but you have a small window here. You have the floor.
Wait! Genesis only said pieces of what souls makes up him, yes? Not all of it. would the deal not be viable then still, with some additional stipulations in regards to this new information? There is no need to fight, to kill. Talking.
Those souls are my property, I'll have you know, and if they're irreparably delegated to you, I am afraid you're stealing from me. Thieves are not welcome here in any of the hells.
If you understood how powerful the cartographer core was, you wouldn't be saying this.
Oh, you have no idea about power. So let's see it, Genesis. Go on and break your contract, and we'll see just how violent this can be.
Oh,
Genesis.
fucking shit.
I will
Ours-
call out to him. Are you completely opposed to receiving compensation for these expended souls? What if other souls were given to you in trade for the ones he will use for this task?
There is a flaring of aggressive, like, smoke and embers in your face, Diza, that make you stutter and cough a little bit. You imagine that Zozros is tired of speaking, and that's saying something coming from him.
What's the demon's name? Azozos, right?
Zozros is
Zozoros.
his name.
I am theoretically immortal. How many souls is in Genesis that you want? Even if it's just numerical value.
All of them, I'm afraid. I want it all. It is mine. You take so much as one from me, and your contract goes up in smoke.
How about
Genesis.
I work in service to you to gain those souls back? I am immortal, technically, in this form. And if this body deteriorates away, just plug me into another one. I'll collect souls, demon, humanoid, angel. They all have them. I've been fighting for years. I can fight for 1,000 more. Would that not be compensation enough?
Roll persuasion.
Okie dokie.
Oh shit.
Oh, I don't have. Ah, damn! I already used my inspiration, I guess. Well,
Okay.
it's decent, but who knows if it's decent compared to a demon?
This is probably a long shot, but, you know, apparently he doesn't want to listen to me talk anymore. Through ash in my face. But,
Yeah, you managed to get on his bad side.
okay. Like I said, long shot, but given the fact that our pretty much it's the same argument just coming from him, could I have, like, with that, given him Bardic Inspiration? Maybe.
You're giving Bardic to who, Destined?
Yeah, like, because it's pretty much just, it's the same argument I was making, but coming from him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just what's a D6, or is it increased depending on your level?
D8.
1 second. It's a D8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that made a difference. Okay. And you're saying, let me work for those souls is kind of the short of it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Zozros, locking eyes with you, Destined, would back up a great deal. Draws his blade and points to the ground here. Step forward.
Yeah, I guess.
You want to compensate me for this? I'll gladly accept. But you will not work for those souls. You're going to be something a little more direct. You are going to be that soul. Understand?
Oh shit.
Let's
Hey.
start by prying it out of that stone of yours.
Yeah.
No! Oh hell yeah. Yes!
that
Zozros
or is that?
would
Oh, that's Zozros.
suddenly morph into a horrendous being as you see his true form would take place before you. And to everyone who is watching and would see this horrendous beast, make a wisdom saving throw.
Do I have to? Or
You do not, given what you are. Everyone else, however, does.
even if you privately message me, do I recognize that demon if it's a yes?
I
Type.
I mean, yeah, I can tell you
if
just,
it-
I can tell you upright what this is. I mean, you recognize that this is a pit fiend.
Cool. It's we were talking pit fiend to pit fiend. Oh, that's great.
Uh-huh.
Pit
Some
fiend
sort
to
of
pit
equal
fiend
ground. Awesome.
communication.
Yeah.
All right. And while this is happening, Genesis would not stop and conducts his work. The DC was, I believe, 18. So, see, the only person who doesn't get frightened is Diza, as you would stern your nerves. Everyone else is frightened of Zozros for what's immediately happening here. There is a hand that is outreached from Genesis. And you, for those who are bound to the cartographer core, you'd feel it be willed into existence as it would peer directly in front of Genesis. And you can see that there are a variety of small white pinprick souls that are in these chained lanterns that are to his back. And you see that they would leave the lantern and would mingle with the cartographer core. For everyone who is bound to it, you would feel a modification that is done to this. And here we go, inherits.
I just to point out, that's super sick fucking art. Like, holy shit. It looks so cool.
For everyone concerned, affiliated with the cartographer core, you would see what has been augmented. Just turn your attention toward the seal breaker tab and learn what it can do.
Further pushing the
So,
core to his language,
when
he likes staff.
When he is absorbing my soul, or like pulling it out, or doing whatever, is my
plus
true
3
form
great
shown, or
It's a
no?
great axe, yo.
Say that again?
So when he's pulling like my soul out or whatever he's trying to do, does my true form show, or is it just basically just robot me still?
I mean, you don't know what the fuck is about to happen.
Okay.
And you would look and see this chain like whip that Zozros has, and he's winding it up, and you can tell that he is aiming for a precise shot. You can feel there's a quivering within your keystone, and it looks like he's going straight for a shot at the stone.
Yeah, if it makes it easier, I'll open like the chest pieces and everything.
Okay. You allow this to happen, and this thing would strike true. And you feel a shift as there was some damage done to your keystone at multiple points, but this
Correct.
really did it in. And you feel a shift in your true self. To everyone watching, you see these fleshy tendrils would suddenly shoot out of Destin's chest. And you see quickly this flesh weaves around his metal body, and a more organic one begins to form around it.
Yo!
I'm just gonna throw myself over there.
Yeah, give me a second to give you a quick little something for this, because this
Ooh.
is you.
Yes.
My lord.
Destined,
It is
you are in
me.
complete control.
Oh hell yeah.
There we go. I suppose we don't need this or that. There we are.
Okay, I'm gonna pop that out. Am I? Oh, I can't move. Okay.
That's so cool.
Everyone else would look on in horror as two pit fiends would stare each other down, as conflict is imminent.
This
Roll
would
for
be
initiative.
fucking fun. Oh, fucking
fuck!
no! No! It is 11 o'clock!
Congratulations, you played yourself.
You'll be
got
fine,
lost.
trust me.
Awesome. Okay, where's my stats? Do I just use my own initiative for Destin for this, for the time being?
No,
Or-
double click on Pit Fiend. You have full control of it, and you're using that thing's stats.
There we go. Okay, that's the. Okay, no, that's not it. Ow. Yeah, I don't.
What's wrong?
I don't have like a stat sheet or anything like that, so I can't. I don't know what to
You should.
do. I do not. When I click on it, even in like the player vessels and everything, it just brings
Oh,
up
I
the-
got you.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. Double click on Pit Fiend. Everyone should actually be able to see what you have at your disposal.
Yeah. Oh my lord.
All right.
The attack.
You got your sheet?
Yes, I do.
Good. That brings us to the top of combat.
I take it I don't have any of my fancy magic paladin stuff, or no?
Not here.
Cool. That works
Oh
for
my
me.
god, really with this fucking song? Get the hell out.
Don't tell me what to do. Somehow, Percy is at the top of the initiative and is fucking terrified, so he is gonna run all the way over here. And is taking cover. We are. And of course, at the end of that turn, we are. One melee attack. You got a tail attack coming towards you, Mr. Pit Fiends.
That's fine.
There we go.
It's
What's
probably
your
gonna
AC?
hit. It's 12 in this form.
Yeah, it rolled
It's
a 17.
buffered by the fact that I have nearly, actually more than double my other HP.
That is 19 magical bludgeoning damage to you.
Okie dokie, where'd that sheet go? Said 19?
Yes. All of his
Okay.
attacks are magical, FYI.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any magical... Oh, I do. Oh, that's a different type.
Anyways,
Okay.
Dagny,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's your go.
Yeah, she's terrified about what's going on. She 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. She's gonna go behind this hedge over here. I mean, she's not gonna do any attacks because that'd be stupid.
Well, it's pretty much the deal's all now at this point.
Well, I mean, you don't understand the particulates of making deals and breaking them, but there's definitely something that's gone wrong here.
Well, he's trying to kill us.
Well, he's trying to kill
Me,
Destin.
at least.
He offered his soul, and it looks like he's taking it, or at
Um,
least trying to.
I mean, she doesn't want to draw the eye already, so she's just gonna go ahead and just use her action to hide.
Honestly, that's pretty fucking smart. That brings us to Genesis' turn. Okay. Let's see what he can do. He raises a hand.
To me, cartographers,
and is beckoning everyone to get close to him. Seems like he's preparing something. Erythal, what are you doing?
Oh boy. This is not a good time.
Oh boy.
Why?
Hmm.
How many attacks do I get?
I guess I'll approach Genesis about like there, or like not in the fire, but like because he said to go to him.
Yep.
And I will. Take the dodge action.
Okay. Once again,
The goal is to leave.
through your stupidly high passive perception, you look up again towards the ashen clouds above. There's something big up there.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
All right. Cobweb.
Okay. Alright. So he's afraid. He doesn't have to move though, right? He could just stay where he is as long as he doesn't get closer.
Yeah.
Sick.
Take it closer.
Alrighty. I'm popping the Storm Rune, taking the dodge action, and that's my turn. Let me ping that for you.
Okay.
Here we go. Oh. Alrighty, and that's my go.
All right. Let's see. Destined, or I really should be calling you Azeroth by this point. You have another tail attack coming your way. You're getting
fine.
whipped up. Yeah, 20 will hit.
Yep.
Wow. All right. That is a grand total of 20 bludgeoning damage, magical, of course.
Jesus.
Zam.
Disa. You feel like this may between A and B, and it might be good to see your way out of it, but you may act however you want.
Yeah.
I suppose just going off of our pit fiend, what's his seemingly intent? Does he seem intent on beating the shit out of the other devil?
That depends. What are you trying to do here? Maybe in this form you can beat him.
I mean, I did in the back of my mind, out of all the ways to go, it would be in combat, as I've lived my entire life. So I probably will, maybe not the intent to kill him, but definitely fight back at the least. So if he's focusing on me, just run.
Okay.
Especially since you are not in fear.
Yeah. But I have a healthy amount of self-preservation in me. Like with the previous question, when I told him, I like to live. If anything, let you or Nadira die, because you're mean. But, yeah, Disa will kind of just... Even though they're not feared, they are definitely spooked. As they'll give off a squawk and begin flying over here. Not before they kind of call out over their shoulder, "Your lovely shade of red!" And then hide behind Erythal.
Are you using him as cover?
Yeah, pretty much when I said "your lovely shade of red," I'm giving you bardic inspiration.
Nice.
Ooh, yay again.
And then I'm taking the hide action, specifically behind Erythal.
All right. You end your turn. There's one more attack coming towards you. Ezra, let's see. That is a natural 1. That sucks. Okay. And that brings us to his turn properly. And let's see here. Okay. Oh, he can do some stuff.
Oh, yeah, he can do a lot of stuff.
He can do some stuff. He takes a step forward and speaks to you.
I will grant you a warrior's death.
Okay.
And yeah. And a warrior's death, I will definitely do.
Let's see. We're gonna have one of those, and two of those. Okay. Remind me your AC.
Mine is 12.
Yeah.
It should be the same as his if he's just like default pit fiend, unless you've done changes.
He's a modified pit fiend.
Yeah, so it's just 12. It's just natural armor.
All right. There you are. All right. Come on, goddammit. Okay, so all these are gonna hit you. I'm just gonna give you the grand total damage here.
Sure.
That is 42, 48, 58, 68, 69, 76 total damage across this thing, just raking the shit out of you.
2, 6. So 76?
Yes.
76. Okay. I have to do math. Yeah. What is he like? Is he just fully just attacking everything, biting, claws, tail, all that?
Yeah, that was a bite. That was a tail swipe, and that was 2 claws that came after you. He's a little bit of a. He doesn't have a mace like you. A little bit different.
Yay.
All right, Nadira.
I too have a healthy sense of self-preservation. So I'm gonna go right back into me, and then head right back to the other mofo's by the Startographer.
Just hide it. Just no, stay as a rat. Hide in Aerothal's pocket.
Ooh, going in Aerothal's pocket.
Why am I being used as a shield?
Because you are a cleric.
I mean, you guys should be protecting me.
No.
Bitch,
I mean,
no take,
have
only throw.
13 AC.
Get fucked. Get better. Get better armor.
Bitch, I literally have no clothes.
I mean, depending on how you play cleric,
Wear something,
they can be
Burn.
main tank. So
Master has given Dobby a sock.
Bobby, hooray!
All right. Finally, we bring ourselves to Azeroth. Your opponent is
Awesome.
strong.
Oh, and I am just as strong, but because even though gladiatorial combat dictates literally just do whatever as long as you kill the other guy,
Yep.
he doesn't have a weapon. I'm going to throw down my mace, but I will do a multi-attack, so
Okay.
With my reaction, I will give one of those attacks advantage.
Ooh.
Remember, you have a largest person dodge.
Yeah.
yep. Do I have to do that before or after I see the roll?
You can do it after.
Okay. So 2 claws,
Oh, Jesus.
Holy shit.
Your attack bonus a plus 14?
a tail,
Holy shit!
Nicely done.
and a bite. Because that's how the multi-attack works.
All those are gonna hit, obviously.
Awesome.
Let's see.
Yes!
I mean, if I kill him, I'm going to be thoroughly shocked.
All right, we'll apply full damage. There we go.
Yeah, my attacks are magical as well, technically.
Well, that did a good deal of damage. Definitely got some serious blows on him. He's still up, however. All right. And to everyone else who's been a bit terrified of the fight that broke out, there's something else that has been up in the clouds that has been brewing this entire time. There would be rays of sunlight that are breaking through the ash,
No.
as out of place in hell as it gets. And
No.
Zozros looks over his shoulder,
Fuck.
and you would see something descend. Something that perhaps followed you here.
Don't turn away.
It's time
This
to
is
go.
between
Time
you
to
and
go.
me.
I
Time
do
to
not
go.
remember what that thing is.
It's an angel.
It sure is.
Okay.
We don't like the angels?
No.
The survivor of our fight will get the scraps. This is between
What
you
the
and me.
fuck is that name?
Bless you. I reiterate.
Kevin still missed.
I am 100% guarantee he did name generator.
I actually didn't. Not for that one.
Oh, okay.
Its turn is
return?
its turn is essentially descending into the field. It moved at a high speed as, yeah, a fucking angel has appeared. Apparently, this may or may not have been what Zozros was fighting that disturbed your proceedings earlier.
Well, shit.
We don't like angels?
Have you not
No.
been paying attention
Bro, you're
to
telling me to run, but you're playing Doom. You're sending me mixed signals here.
How much self-preservation you got?
Not much.
All right. Percy, understanding the intent of Genesis, will just sheepishly close the distance and is right here. You can see that Genesis is preparing something powerful, preferably to protect all of you, you would hope. You are urged to, get within there. Dagny.
Yeah, like hearing Genesis say that she comes from her hiding spot, and will get as close to Genesis as she can, probably getting behind Aerithal. And will also take the dodge action.
I didn't dodge. I'm literally hiding behind him.
All right.
Because Aerothal's dodging, you're just mimicking him.
Pretty much.
He's doing
And
like
the-
the hole on the wall thing and just literally copying him.
At the end of your turn, there is a claw coming towards Azeroth. Let's see how it does.
That's fine.
Can I?
It's probably gonna hit.
I need to
14.
double check the warding flare one if I can.
Save it for yourself.
Oh yeah, no, he's not within. Yeah, no, he's not within 30 feet. Never mind.
All right. Yeah, the 14 will hit you.
Yeah.
And it's 17 slashing to you.
Yep.
And I'll describe what he's doing here. As he looks over his shoulder and almost completely turns away from you, Azeroth, and faces this creature that has descended from, you could say, the heavens, but more likely the high hells. And Zozro speaks to you.
You brought this here. Perhaps our negotiations can wait.
It looks like Zozros is more intent on fighting this thing.
Will we continue our fight after we kill it?
Naturally.
Then let's go for it. And I pick up my mace.
Okay. Okay. That brings us to Dagny.
I just went already.
Oh, my bad. I forgot to progress the thing. That brings us to Genesis. Azeroth, you hear a voice in your head, and Genesis is speaking to you directly.
We seek to leave. Do you wish an exit or to remain in the hells here?
As it looks like you've just been presented with an opportunity, it seems though Genesis is about to get everyone to safety. He's extending an olive branch to you, believe it or not. He's wanting to know if you want to go with all your friends, or stay here with Zozros and this angel.
outside of the game, you're probably going to be sent somewhere relatively safe. It's not like you're going to be immediately outside of the portal. So,
Yeah, this is a big decision because the implications here are quite large. So if you need a second to think about it, go ahead.
My mistake. Were you speaking to me?
No,
Everybody.
No, like this question is specifically to you, Azeroth.
oh, me.
Yeah.
You want
Yeah.
to stay and
Nah, I'm gonna.
essentially die.
Yeah. There's a mutual understanding between me and Zosros that I've accepted this deal. A demon doesn't go back on his word, even if it wasn't a contract written up.
Okay.
If I die, I die. If I win and fight him and die, yeah, whatever.
So you've agreed as a temporary truce alongside Zosros to fight this angel, and then finish things with him once everything here is concluded.
Correct.
All right. And so your decision is made, and the two of you are now looking over to face this angel. And Genesis would have his turn. Here we are. Let me count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I believe that's everybody.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I thought that was the angel doing something. I was like, that's a big thing.
Genesis casts teleport.
Bye bye.
There we are. And go. What I'm gonna do here. Everyone would go alongside Genesis. Leaving the conflicts of angels and demons to their own devices. As you are teleported just before the contemptuous gate to get back, with Genesis in tow. And you all would look on as the gateway is open. There appears to be more viscera leading out, suggesting that a lot of things have made their way out in your absence.
Might have a battle on our hands.
Worldly events are now going to develop at an unprecedented rate. We must continue moving forward.
Do we close the gate?
That depends if you want to extend the way out to your friend.
Think she just kind of looks in the direction of the path.
I would say quite literally do the smart thing. So if closing the portal prevents some sort of catastrophe, do it.
She kind of looks wistful while she contemplates that decision, and she says, "He's made a choice for the greater good. Let's go." As she will rush through the gate.
Let his sacrifice be made.
And Genesis would begin floating over towards the gate. I presume everyone is going to be following.
Yeah.
All right. As for Azeroth, I'm going to give you a big stinky to be continued, because this is a good point to end this session.
That is fine with me.
Oh man.